Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. Whew, what a day. Um, that's what I say every day because it's what a day. By this time in the day, it's been a day. I hope you're all doing well. If you're out there, please say hi. Let me know you're joining us so that I know I have people who are watching. It really does help. It helps me not to feel like I'm talking to myself. And it helps others find friends. It's not just for us. These lives are not just for us. They are one of the ways that we do business by selling things on these lives, but they also hopefully connect other creative people with other creative people so you all can make friends. That's what it's about, building community, making friends, being creative together, helping one another out. Um, you know, we call this the AG Bead fam. We were trying to come up with a name for it for so long. We kind of settled on that, and it really, we wanted it to be more than a group. We wanted it to be more than a community. This is a family. And through thick and thin, many of us have been here to support one another, through a lot of different things, through health issues, through home issues, through bead emergencies, just life things. And that's what this is all about. This is about more than just beads. It always has been, it always will be for us. So thank you for being here. If you're out there, like I said, please say hi, get to know each other. Now, those of you watching on Facebook will be able to see each other's comments. Those of you on YouTube will be able to see each other's comments. I do have this. I hope I'm doing it on the right side of the screen. It could be over here because I've mirrored my screen. You can read each other's comments over there if they are big enough on your screen to read. I know that's pretty small on some screens, but that is one way that you can see everybody's comments, but we also try to read out most of the comments so that if y'all want to reply cross-platform, it makes it a little bit easier, makes a little bit more sense. Now I'm going to start. We got people saying hi. Diane is here. Hello, Diane. Thank you for joining us tonight. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Kimberly is here at My Beaded Bliss. Hello, Kimberly. How's your channel going? I know you started a channel recently. I have been so discombobulated for the last few weeks, that ever since your post on our unboxing that you did, I have not seen much about your channel, or I have not checked it out, and I need to go over there and do that. So I apologize for that, but I'll get over there again. I did watch some of the other videos that were done just before ours, and they look great too. Susie's here, our neighbor. Thank you for being with us. Let's see, everybody's saying hi. Kim is here. Hello, Kim. Thank you for joining in. Kimberly says, I can read them as long as I have readers on. Yeah, because on my screen, they're I really cannot read them. Luckily, I have another section over here that I read them on. But yeah, this is too small for because my screen is like this big. Because I have to have the comments and the camera. What's the word? Controls. That's the word. The camera controls, the mic controls, all the different banners. And so my screen view is actually really small. Sandra's here. Hello, Sandra. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope all is going well for you. I've been seeing your emails pop out here and there. I'm on your email list. I hope you all are on our email list. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Go to allegorygallery.com and join our email list. Something weird happened, and I don't quite know what is going on, but on July 6th, it appears that we had many, many, many unsubscribes happen, and I don't know why. I didn't send out an email on that day. Sometimes on an email we get a few unsubscribes. The normal for us is between 0 and 3. This was probably 30, 40, 50 unsubscribes. So something happened. So I'm going to say that if you haven't been getting emails from us in the last like few weeks, now that you're thinking about it, right? You might want to check, because I don't know what happened. We process our email through our Shopify store first, and we have an add-on to that, but it also goes through a few other places. We used to have an old MailChimp account, and we kept that, and it still adds names and subtracts names to that. But if any of these accounts have any type of glitch, they can filter through to each other. So I don't know why. I wouldn't normally mention it, except that it was highly unusual activity. And there were some people on there that, that I know generally are pretty big supporters and customers of ours. So I technically can't go back in and resubscribe people. It's not one of those lawful things. If you unsubscribe, I can't resubscribe you unless you request me to do it. So I just wanted to say here on the live, and I'm going to be posting some of this on social media too, to check to make sure. If email is your favorite way to get in touch with us, and it is always, I will say, for a small business, it is always incredibly important to join their email lists. You may say, I have enough email. I get emails from everyone. I don't want any more emails. But I will tell you, if you love a certain particular small business, it is super important to join their email list, because their email list is generally the one thing that they own. They don't own their Facebook page. They don't own their Instagram account. They don't own their YouTube channel. The only way they can communicate with their customers, if something gets lost, if something goes down, is email. So I know the last thing I want to is more emails. But if you love a small business, the email list is a very, 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 very important thing. You can, you don't want to read all the emails. That's okay. Throw them away if you don't want to read them, but let the small businesses stay in touch with you. I'm not saying that just for us, although I am saying it for us. Please join our email list. We have approximately 6,000 some different customers that have come through our Shopify store, and have signed up in various ways. Only about 2,300 of them are subscribed to our email list. So that's the kind of numbers we deal with, trying to get those people to stay subscribed. And, if we had access to all of, like, 2 to 3 times, well, 2 times, 2.5 times. No, 2 to 3 times, right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 2 to 3 times the number of customers we could reach if people stayed on the email lists. And so, sometimes people just, they're like, oh, I'll check in on them later. They're a favorite of mine. I don't have to worry about it. I know to check in on them, and I'll order from them often. But if something happens, it's very important, that they can reach out to you. So I will just say that. If you are a small business, you know what it's like. You know that the email list is like your thing that you own. That's it. I can export the names and emails on my email list. I can't get my SMS list. I'm not allowed to have that and attach that to things. I can't get people who likes on Facebook, I can't get those. I can't get followers on Instagram, our subscribers on YouTube. I have no access to them if those channels go down or they're pulled from us, but I do have a list of names and a list of emails that I'm allowed to use to rebuild a list if I need to. Let's see here. Let me see what is going on. Let me continue saying hi now that I did my speak. Channel is good. Need to get some more stuff loaded. Was a crazy week last week, says Kimberly. Good. I'm glad it's going well, though. Glad it's going well. Marsha's here. Hello, Marsha. Saw Marcia at Squonkapalooza this weekend. Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining in. Kimberly says, I did a joint challenge with some beating friends and it was streamed to all of our channels. So that was fun. That's awesome. You know, we would like to do more joint things. It's just finding the time, right? It's a great thing to do and it's a lot of fun. And we've done it before with various people. And I would like to do more of it. But whew, it's hard with everything else. And it's hard to, you know, wrangle everybody together, right? Everybody's busy. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us. Kimberly says, maybe that was an auto thing if they had gone unread for a number of months. Maybe the system unsubscribed them automatically. I'm not supposed to have that set up. That's what I thought originally too. I was like, well, maybe that's what's happening. Because some of them were customers we've had for a very long time. And maybe they've not been able to read the emails lately, but I don't have that set up to my knowledge. And I don't necessarily want that to happen. You know, we've thought about doing the emails like, are you reading this email? If not, we're kicking you off the list. But we know that people do not always read emails. But I would hope that if we ever sent out an email like emergency Facebook page gone, something like that, people might click on it, right? Just seeing something like that. So we try not to do that. So I don't know. Kieran says, I just read some emails from you guys. Yeah, of course. We send out, I don't send out a lot. You know, some companies send out an email pretty much there are companies I get emails from pretty much almost every day. I don't read them all. But like I said, if there was some emergency email that we sent out with a big headline in capital letters, like Facebook page gone, something like that, goodness gracious, we hope that never happens. But it's, you know, it's happened to friends of ours. So yeah, subscribe, y'all. Sandra says, did you check with your email provider? No, because I don't know which one it could possibly be. That's the problem. I don't know if it started with Shopify. I don't know if it started with Seguno, which is the one that we use. I don't know if it started with MailChimp. And I just saw it like like an hour before this live. So I need to look into it a little bit more. But yeah, I have no idea where the start of the unsubscribe came from, because on either part of that, it would flow through. Whether they clicked on the emails. It does not seem like people clicked on the emails, because I didn't send an email that particular day. And there's nowhere near any of the amount of unsubscribes on any of our emails, because it tracks unsubscribes per email. And there's nowhere near the number of unsubscribes. And as far as I can see, the unsubscribes that I see per the emails are not on that list. So it's very strange. Vicky says, hello, nice to see you. Hello, Vicky. Thank you. Nice to see you here. Norma says, I am still getting emails. Good. Oops. What is going on? Sandra says, I can attest to how it is, because if Facebook, YouTube goes away, that's the only way you can contact them. It's right. That's true. It is very, very true. Kimberly says, I meant that I just read emails. Oh, just read some email. Okay, that makes sense. I don't mind if people don't read all the emails. I know. I'm glad you do. Thank you for the clarification. But I don't, I know everybody's busy. Not everybody reads all the emails. We send out, like I said, when we send out an email, it's 2,000 some emails. That's our list. It's not huge. We would like to make it bigger, but we know that those are the most engaged people. And there have been issues with emails over the years, like the one time Shopify messed things up. And instead of automatically checking the box when you checked out on an order that said, stay up to date with news from us, it's normally checked and you have to uncheck it. They were unchecking it And so every single person who placed an order during that period removed themselves from the list. So that was a big bad thing. And so things like this happen. And, we have generally about a 30 to 35% read rate. I'm telling you lots of statistics here that we don't normally share. So about 30% of the people who get our emails read them. We can track that. We know when people open them. So about 30% of the people who get our emails actually open them. And so, I think that's fairly good. I don't know what industry average is, but I think that's a pretty good number. We have been solidly at that number for quite some time, and that is just our normal. And so we know that that's what we expect, is 30% of people who get our emails read them. And it's different people, it's not always the same people, but that's what that is. So when we're already down people unsubscribing, whether they realize they are or not, sometimes, and then when system errors like this, or possibly, I don't know what this is, occur, it takes that number down already. So I just want to say, if you go to our website, make sure you're signed up to our email list if you want to be on our list. And I hope that the people who watch our lives definitely do. I'm going to be putting out a blurb on Facebook. You're probably going to see me pushing the email list quite a bit on Facebook, a little bit more, just because, this coming up has kind of told me that I probably, it's just like, one of those things. Sometimes when something comes up, it's telling you maybe you should work on it a little bit. So we're going to work on it a little bit. Suzanne is here. Says, hello, everyone. What a day. Repair after repair. Still, but that's good. Sorry that you're dealing with it. Those days can feel, tiring. Lorraine is here. Hello, Lorraine. Thanks for joining us. Susie says last email was August 1st. The last email I sent out was yesterday, August 3rd. August 3rd was the last email I sent out for Squonkapalooza. Now that's the other thing too, is we technically have 2 email lists. One of these lists is not tied to everything else. So that's a whole other thing. If you shop our physical store, like the people who may have been to the event, Squonkapalooza we were at this weekend, if you shop the physical store and we get your email address that way, that goes into a different email system. And I do sometimes send out the same similar emails through both systems. So you might get 2 in a day from us. And if you get 2 in a day, it's probably okay to let one of those go. You can unsubscribe from one if you want to. But one is from Square, which is when we send invoices like this, and when we're out at a show, or if you stop in the store, we gather that information from there. The other one is through Shopify and our website. And when you visit our website, or when you make an order from us there, that goes into a different list. I would love to combine those lists, but I am very, very careful not to play too much with the lists. And this has come from learning many years ago. One time I tried to combine lists and I accidentally wiped out a lot of names. And I did have a backup, thankfully, but it took a long time to get everything sorted back out again. So technically I could take one list, copy and compare it to the other. And if you're not in this one, not in that one, I could add it to this one. But the Shopify system, I just don't like to mess with it. Let's just say that. So you might get 2 emails from us. Some days I make those emails different and I switch off and alternate. So you might see one day and one another, and it looks like you're getting two the same on different days, but really they look, formatting wise, they look different. So I have one format for Shopify and one format for Square. It's just the way the builders are. But anyway, yes, we do have two lists. So if you get 2 emails in a day from us under the same email address, you're probably on both lists, and you can choose to unsubscribe from one, or just keep throwing one in the trash, or keep, not, or read them both. They might be the same, they might not. You might like one format over another too. But both ways, we would be able to reach you, and we appreciate you being on the list. Let's see here. Oops. Sandra says, it sounds like an issue of the provider. I can see if it was even 10, but 30 or 40. Yeah, and there may have been more than that. I really didn't look at, I was going through pages of them. I don't know how many were on a page. It was very strange. And I kept going back a little bit after that, and there were my normal like 2 a day, 3, 4 a day. But this was like one after another, after another, after another, after another. And so I don't know. Suzanne says, so many yummy things up for bin last week. Good. I'm glad y'all liked some of the stuff last week. Yes, we had lots of beautiful gemstones last week. I think we had lots of good stuff. I picked the stuff though, so I think it's all nice. But I'm glad y'all liked it. I have started sorting some of that and getting it ready for shipping. I worked a lot in shipping in the online store today. I had to catch up with some things there. It's sometimes hard because we do these lives, and that's a whole separate ordering system from the online store. And I try to combine those when I can. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It would really go faster if I didn't worry about trying to combine across lives and the online store. So that might be something that gets cut a little bit out of things as time goes on, unless people specifically state they want to. But I'm trying to make the online store a little bit faster in getting things out for people. So if you order there, if you don't specifically state you'd like to combine your orders, I might stop doing that most of the time. And I just let you all know, because I know most of you all order both ways. And so just if you order online, put a note saying, please combine, that you're willing to wait for that, and I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to start shipping things in the online store pretty quickly. So if there's something you see in the online store and you're like, oh, I want it soon, you won't have to say, like, please ship without my other orders. I'm just going to start doing that, I think. It just makes more sense, and it's a little bit easier on my brain to not have to worry about searching through online store stuff too, because it's a lot to combine things, and we combine a lot already through the lives, and we appreciate every single order that comes in. So we still want to combine if you want us to, but for the most part, I think online store orders are just going to start to go out by themselves. If you place multiple online store orders within a certain time before one goes out, of course I will combine those. But for the most part, I think I'm going to give up combining lives with online store orders unless you specifically ask. I hate to do that, like I said, because we're trying always to be, as easy on your wallet for shipping as possible, but it does slow down the works. And sometimes I forget things. I forget to look for your name here, or forget to look for your name there, and then I feel bad about it. So just to make everything a little bit more streamlined, I think that's going to be the case. Kimberly says, I did get one yesterday about the squonks. Yes, yesterday was the squonk email. Suzanne got that too. Good. Let's see. Sandra says, I did that on mine. I had kit and then went with Klaviyo and merge them. I use Kit for my free offers and manually move names to the real list in Klaviyo. Yeah, it's I don't like messing with it. I really don't. And we used to have MailChimp, and I loved it, honestly. I liked how it worked. I liked the automations I could build through it, but they just really, when our list got to a certain size, the price went way up. Like, I felt like there was no true small business. Like, it starts at like $100 and some a month, which, is not terrible, but um, our email list was just over the minimum, and to spend an extra 110 a month just didn't seem, I think that's what it starts at, just didn't seem right. We spend less than that on our email list right now, and it has a lot of great function to it. There are some things we miss out on. So that's a little bit harder, but it does tie in really well with our Shopify store and all of that. So, but we still add names, and Shopify does take care of marking everything, even in MailChimp. Even though we don't use it, we still have our list, kind of tallying up there. It still goes in and marks things subscribed, unsubscribes, it cross-populates. And so if I ever had to export a list from somewhere, I would have multiple places where I could do that. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, I didn't get on here to just chit-chat about email lists, but I just want to make that clear, that please check to make sure you're getting emails from us. If you want to get emails from us, and going into the website and putting your name into the email list again is not going to hurt. It will not add you twice. You're not going to get double the emails. It's just going to verify that you're on the list. At least it should. Make sure you're subscribed. At least I hope. And remember also, we have an SMS list. So that's a text message list. Some people have joined the text message list and then left the email list, and I saw some of that, and I do see that. And that's good too, but also remember that the text message list is something that's much harder for a small business to take with them if something happens. At least from what I'm seeing, it's hard to re-add names and all that. So there's a lot of legalities, more legalities around phone numbers and text messages than there are the emails for a small business or for any business. So it is much easier if you stay on the email list and just you don't want to see them, throw them away when you get them, or just, if you're not a person who throws anything away in your email list, just bypass them, keep on moving. Sandra says, yes, Klaviyo would be expensive for you. I have 500 people. It's $30 a month. I needed more connectivity with my Shopify store. That's why I switched. Yeah, I'm really happy with the one we have. There hasn't been anything that we've not been able to do, except we used to send out birthday emails. And we used to be able to do that pretty easily, but Shopify does not make it easy to build out an email form that lists your birthday and then link it to sending out emails using that. MailChimp made that very easy. So in the online store that I built, which is where we connected MailChimp to from the beginning, I was able to have a birthday field, and we could keep track of those things, which was really nice. And we could send out happy birthday emails and give out little discounts during people's birthdays. And that's been something that we've not been able to do since we have not been using MailChimp. So I do miss that, and we're working in the background on ways to try to be more in touch with people on special dates like that, anniversaries, birthdays. But that's a hard thing to collect. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what we do with that, but we still have some of that information, and we'd like to put it to better use. And for a while, when we were very small, um, Andrew used to handwrite birthday cards and send them out. And that is something we're looking at, possibly trying to restart again in some way that's a little bit easier than, you know, writing out tons and tons and tons of cards. But we're still looking into that. This whole thing, uh, we want to be very connected to people. And remembering important dates is a big part of that. And it's important to us to try to do that as much as we can. Even if it's an automated way of doing that, um, you know, to see something from us on your birthday, I think is something that I think is an important thing. I would like it to be something that happens again more often, but um, yeah, I don't know how we do all that, and we have to. It's just things we have to work on, and it's things that we're always constantly thinking about. We don't always have time to act on them or implement them. Sometimes they're very difficult to implement with the systems that you know, we've been through what, 4 versions of online stores now. Hopefully this is the one we stick with, but you never know. Um, so implementing things and hoping they stick is not always easy. Hello, Anna. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well today. How was everyone's weekend? Did you have a good weekend? I had an extraordinary weekend. It was really good at Squonka-Palooza. I was I was concerned because it was just going to be me. I had to do all the setup. I didn't know if I picked the right things to sell, um, because Andrew was not around and he was not going to be home. There was no way he could get home for that in time. And so thankfully my mom and my aunt came up at a point in the day, in the afternoon, to give me a little bit of time away from the table. They couldn't sell anything because they didn't know how to do anything or know the prices of anything all the time. But they did sit at the table and give me a chance to stretch my legs. And I got to go out and take a few pictures of things and talk to some people and catch up with some people that I knew would be there. And so that was really nice. But I have to say, there were very few moments where I was not talking to some potential new customer. Sometimes you go to a show and you are very bored. Um, Now, Andrew and I are people that if you even walk even 8 feet in front of our booth, we're going to yell, "Hey, how are you?" and try and get you to turn your head and look and um, talk to us. And that's just how we are. One, it's from the knowledge. We know that when we are at a show, a lot of times, if especially at a busy show, you are blind, right? You are focused, you are blind to things around you. You are generally, following people in a line from booth to booth. You're kind of lumbering, moseying along. You may not be catching everything. Sometimes it starts to blur and become the same. And so uh, we have found, and this is I think these are good tips for anybody if you do shows. Um, if you are behind a booth at a show, talk to everyone. If they look in your direction, say hi, wave to them, ask them how their day is, what's going on, how are you finding the show, anything to get them to maybe come closer to the booth and talk to you or pause at your booth. Because if you can't get people to pause a little bit at your booth, they will not generally look at anything. And that's not because you don't have interesting things. That's not because they don't like what you have. It's just because you are one booth in amongst, like this show is, we were one in amongst 80. Now we were inside, so we were one amongst like 20 some. Most of the booths were outside. But if you don't break people's attention from everything else, they're just going to walk by, or they're going to scan, and they're going to keep going unless they really see something that sticks out. So we chat people up. It's like, hello, how are you? What's going on? And then once we get them there and get them to the booth and just have them just start looking, that's when we move in. And I move into the talking about the products. You know, the probably the most said thing that I said were, these items are all our original artwork. My husband makes the artwork, and we put them on all these different things, whether it's a mug, whether it's a tote, whether it's a pin, and then he hand sculpts all these beautiful ornaments, these creature ornaments over here, and each one is one of a kind. That was pretty much what I said to hundreds of people. At least made sure that I said that part after the hello, how are you? I made sure I said that so they understood, you know, in a fraction of time that they had with me, that you're not going to see this. This is original artwork. You are not going to see this stuff anywhere else. These are handmade things. And I think it's very good, you know, because a lot of people, it's not that they take copyrighted art, but a lot of people don't do their own art. And, you know, sometimes they take things and they use clip art, or they use all different, you know, you don't know where people get things from. And it's important that they understand that this is special, that this is not something you get from somewhere else. And anybody who is selling at a show, if you're selling your handmade items, it's very important that they know this is not the stuff that, you know, that you're going to order in from somewhere else. You didn't order this from somebody, put a price on it, and are trying to resell it again. You made this. These are handmade. These stones come from here. These stones come from there. This is gold with these. And this, I put this together because I felt like this. I had the inspiration from this. You know, even if you're just, you know, every piece, everything somebody touches on your table, you should be able to tell them a story about that piece. And that's how they know that it's something that's made from you, that you are the maker. You know why you put things together. You know that you saw this piece on that necklace and you decided that it had to go with this piece that you had in your stash. And those are all stories. You know, sometimes it feels weird, and sometimes it does feel weird, and sometimes it felt, you know, it's intimidating sometimes to just start verbal diarrhea and this stuff out into the world because people didn't ask. Nobody's coming to my booth to say, oh, where is this from? I mean, some do, but usually I don't give them the time to do that. I tell them, because if you wait for them to ask about your products, they're going to move on to the next booth. They don't have time to ask about your particular products when there are 80 or 500 booths around. They're going to look. If they see something they like, they might pick it up and look at it. But as soon as I saw them looking at any particular thing, right there is when you automatically start talking about that thing. Start with that. If I saw people come from one side of my booth, starting looking at the creatures, these creatures are hand sculpted by my husband. He does each one individually. Oh, and by the way, he's teaching a class on this in Pittsburgh. If you're from the area here, you might want to take that too. Take a picture of this sign. This QR code will link you right to that. Are you from this area? Are you traveling here today? Or did you come from somewhere else for this show? Like, it lets you come into other things. If they come from this side of my booth, these are our wooden pins. Each one of these pins is dye sublimated with original artwork that we have done. And some of those originals are still in our online store if you'd like to check that out after the show. It's always, you know, you want to engage people before they ask to be engaged. And I know that sounds maybe bad sometimes. And I don't think, like, we don't do hard sales. I'm not going to be like forcing something, like somebody picks up something, you should really get that. That would look, I don't like when people say that to me. I don't like when I pick something up and people are like pushing it on me. Like, you need to get that. That would be, I'm not that person, but I will tell you about the product and you can make the decision about the product if you like it, if that's your thing. I think that people's products should speak for themselves. And they will speak to different people in different ways, right? Some people are going to like this and some people are going to like that. But it's important that you allow the product to speak to them, but also tell them about it. Tell them the history of it. Tell them why you did it. Um, some of the time, if people seem to be really interested in like, they would look at different creatures that Andrew talked about or Andrew painted. I would start talking about how his mom is from the Philippines and he grew up hearing stories of these mythical creatures, and that's where his concept of starting to build these worlds and this world building came from, and how things tie into one another in his artwork. And so you can really get into things deeper once you see that people are interested in it. But you need to get their attention. You need to like snap them out of whatever zoned out world they're in as they're, pushing their way through a show, and get them to look. Because I have watched, at bead shows, I used to sell car parts at car shows. And even then, I have watched people walk by 5, 10 booths and just kind of with this glazed over look. They're not seeing anything. And I watch people in the booths, the owners of the businesses just kind of stand there and just wait for somebody to say hi, or wait for somebody to pick something up, or wait for the customer to engage. And you're not gonna help yourself that way. So if you are at a show, I suggest talking to everyone. If they're just walking by and they don't look like they're even going to stop, or if they make a glance where you can make eye contact, just say hi, how are you, and try and get a question in there like, did you come far? What's your favorite thing in this show? I ask that a lot too. What's your favorite thing that you've seen in this show? And many times people who didn't look like they were going to even stop started to come by because I asked them something about themselves. What are you finding interesting, right? So it really does help. Kimberly says, my booth is a combination of resale funky fun stuff and my handmade jewelry. And that's fine. You can have a combination, but you know why you picked the stuff. If it's resale stuff, you know why you picked it. Why did you pick it? What is it about that really, interested you? And of course, your handmade stuff. That's where I would start with if you possibly can. Sandra says, the first and only show I did, someone asked, did you make every piece? Well, yes, I did. She was stunned, right? People don't realize that in a lot of cases, especially in today's world where you can order things from everywhere around the world and just resell them. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do. It's very important for people to understand that you make things. Like, that was the thing, is that we make our wooden pins. We make, all of our things in-house. Sometimes I think it would be nice to send them out to printers and have them do things like that. But we don't. And that's a whole thing. Like, we have behind me our dye sublimation studio. That's where I dye sublimate all the pins. We have our own laser. That's where we cut the wooden pendants, the wooden earrings, the acrylic pins. They're all cut that way. We hand piece everything together. We put the pin backs on things. That's something like, people know that not only did you make the art, but you put the stuff together. So it helps. It helps a lot. And then they also realize, like, this is worth it. This is why this is a little bit more money. It wasn't mass produced. It wasn't, brought in and resold. Kimberly says, so I need to remember, tell myself to get out of my shell and be more talky. I'm a very shy person and still very nervous on my channel too. Yes. It's funny. I I'm a very shy person when it comes to approaching people. Um, and so if I am in a group and we're like at an event, I'm not going to approach people for the most part. I'm trying to get better at that, but I'm still bad at it. Um, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm not going to just go and talk to people. If we're at a show, um, I don't do that. But you are at a booth. People are coming to you. It is your place. It is your home. That is your home for the night, or the day, or whatever it is. That booth is your business. People are walking into your store. And that's how I look at it. At a show, when people approach your booth, they are walking into your store, and you should greet them as, as nicely and as friendly as you would greet somebody coming into your home or coming into your store invited. And and that's how I look at it, and that's how that helps me get over it. Because if somebody came into my home invited and I kind of just like shied away, I'd be so embarrassed. Like, I'd be more embarrassed of myself doing that than being shy, right? Than being, like, the shyness has to be overcome because the embarrassment would be too much. And so that's how I look at my booth. My booth is my home or my business. People are walking into it, and people, they are here for a reason. They want to know about what happens here. That's why they came up to the booth. Um, and that that in some ways we extend to the show, because they came to the show to experience what all of these businesses have, right? And so me yelling, hello, how are you doing, out into the aisleway when people are walking by, um, isn't something that's bad or wrong. It's something that everybody should be doing. Everybody. When I go to a show, I love engaging with people. I don't like people who are pushy salespeople, but I love engaging. I love talking to the business owners about what they do. If I feel like there's a pressure to buy, I start to like pull away. But learning what people do and hearing their stories, I love it. And I think most people do. That's why they're there. That's what they've come for. And so Kimberly says, I can greet and say hi, but I find it harder to engage. I understand that. But and I guess at first I did have that fear. I have more of that when I'm like on the phone. I used to do phone sales for the British car place. I'd have a very hard time on the phone with people for a while. But when I went to a car show, I could come alive at a car show. Because even though I didn't know much about cars, let me tell you, when I started, I knew almost nothing about cars. But we had two different kinds of salespeople at every show that we went to. We had salespeople that knew the parts and where they went, and if something was broken, how it fit together and how it worked together. And those people would help the people in the audience, or in the customers, picking out parts that needed help that way. Then they had people like me who were there to take the pieces of paper that people gathered as they went around and bought things and wrote down the numbers and check out. That's what I was mostly there for. But at the same point, that doesn't mean that my job was just to take the piece of paper and tally it up and take money. It was to talk to them about how they are, talk to them about their car. Are you in the show? How's your car going? Are you in the process of, putting your car together? Are you still rebuilding it? And it just, people like to know what's going on. And people like to, when they're asked about themselves, you do the blend of asking people why they're there, what's their favorite thing, what are they enjoying the most, and where did they come from, and then you also tell them about you. And all of those questions can lead back and forth between your products and the people who are buying them, or hopefully buying them. Where you come from, somebody might say they went here. You're like, oh, I went there on a trip, and you can talk, you can relate to them a little bit, and it's you. I find at these shows that most people have more in common than we think, and that is one of the best things to come out of a lot of this that we do. We don't do a lot of shows anymore. We used to do more bead shows. I used to do a good number of car shows, and just getting to communicate with people is one of those things that's really kind of special. And people love the connection. And you may be shy to do that. But people legitimately generally love to make connections with people. And I mean, when you think about it, some people, I guess, like to go into a store and not be bothered at all. And they're just going to pick out the stuff they want and they're going to leave. There are those people. But for the most part, if I am ignored completely in a store, or somebody just says hi and then they're never around again, or they're, on their phone, when I walk up to a booth and people say hi and I say hi, and then I'm looking at stuff and they look like they don't have time for me, or they look like they are not interested in talking to me, it doesn't feel good. And so I always think that even if you're too chatty, I err on the side of being too chatty, because at least they're going to walk away and be like, boy, he talks a lot, but they are going to know about our products, right? They are going to understand what we do. They might say he talks too much, but they're also going to say, boy, they do a lot there. That's and look at how much they get done. And so I think it's always best to err on that side of things. And some people, especially now, which it's kind of great. Some people who don't want to talk, they wear the headphones, and especially young people. A lot of young people, there were a few that came through with headphones on, and when I saw headphones, I'd say hi. I'd say, let me know if you want to know any more information about anything. And I generally let them be, because I know that there are some people that are, have sensory issues. And sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I am overstimulated by being in large crowds and things like that. And so I get that. And then the last thing they want is more. So, people are now, that's a good way. They wear the over ear headphones. It's a good way to kind of show people that they're not trying to engage too much. And, that's a thing. But for the most part, people coming to your booth, they want to know. That's what I found. So don't be shy. I know that's easier said than done, but it's I think it's pretty easy to engage, because as soon as you start asking people about themselves, and that's usually how I start out. Where did you come from? Say quick something about that, and then that kind of warms them up, and they start looking at stuff then. And then once they start looking at stuff, I take that as a cue to talk about us. But anytime somebody looks at anything on your table, anything at all, start talking about that thing, because they're looking at it. They're interested in it, and that can lead them on to other things. The worst they can do is turn around and walk away. All right, the next person's coming. Let's talk to them. So yeah, anyway, tips for shows, if you do shows. I don't know how helpful that was, but I think, I think it helps to really, really, really engage people. We had a really wonderful day. I did have a great number of sales. I was very happy with the sales totals. And I think that's because we had the kind of right fit for the place, but also I did not let people walk I did not let people walk anywhere near our table without saying hi and trying to get them to come over and look. Because I watched our neighbors at some of the tables around us, and they didn't do that. They just kind of stood around, and they would like nod to people or say hi, but they wouldn't try to engage much, and they were not as successful. um, and they had really cool products, but they were not coming out of their shell to the customer. And yeah, I felt kind of bad for some because I know they had such cool stuff, and um, they just weren't getting people walking up to the booth. But people aren't always going to walk up. You got to give them a reason to. You got to pull them in a little bit. Let people know it's okay to come up to the booth. And a lot of people, another thing is a lot of people have kids, young kids, and they don't always want their kids touching the stuff on the tables and all that. And that's when a lot of times I'll say hi to the parents, and then I'll make it a point to say hi to the kids. Um, and, try and make conversation with the kids too. And that tells the parents that it's okay, without having to tell the parents it's okay. Kimberly says, that is so funny. I could do the cold calls when I worked for Sprint selling long distance, but in person was a whole other story. Yeah, I'm terrible at cold calling. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm terrible at it. When I worked for Bloomingdale's, certain times of the year would force us to call people who were supposedly our customers and tell them about sales that were going on at Bloomingdale's. These weren't even cold calls. These were like warm calls. But it's people who I supposedly, had, some kind of sale with, or sometimes it wasn't somebody I did. It was just somebody that made a purchase in our department. That was more of what it was, because I knew a lot of my people. I got to know people, but it would just be like, oh yeah, this person made a sale to this person. Let's call them and let them know that there's a sale happening and that they can get these bonuses. And I hate that so much, because the reason you are calling is to just, you have to find a way to phrase it as you're calling them to let them know about something special for them, right? But it, in my mind, always feels like just a hard sale all the time, because they didn't make time to call the customers just to check up on their purchases, for example, right? There was no time where they sat us in a room with a list of phone numbers and said, call these people and just ask them if they were happy with their purchase, without trying to sell something. There was never that. It was always, oh, the next sale is happening. Sit in a room and call this list of numbers. Here's the names with them, and tell them about our sale. It was very, it was that icky kind of feeling that I don't like. That's why, at Allegory Gallery here, we try to be so personable. We try to be so connected to the people who support us, all of you out there, and we try to get to know you, because selling in other ways feels icky. It just feels so one-sided, if there's no connection. And some people don't want that connection, and that's okay. They expect that kind of selling. They're okay with it. But for the most part, I feel that it's so... Ugh. So I was never good at the cold calling, or even that warm kind of calling. Like, if I can't build a relationship with you, then what is the point? Like, why are we doing this? Like, that's what this should be built on. And like I said, if they had sat us in rooms and just had us follow up with customers every once in a while, or that we call them for no reason other than, to check and make sure everything was okay with them, and not try to sell something to them every time, it would have felt better. It would have felt better if we had a list of people that we just had to call like every month and just check up and say, hey, how's it going? We just want to make sure your purchase was good. Um, or, hey, it's been a while since I've seen you, how are things going? And I know that sometimes that's weird and that's not how, people don't expect, I guess, your salesperson to call you and be like, hey, friend, how are you? But that's kind of how we are. And so I like it better that way. I feel like it's more like personal shoppers. And I've always been a better kind of salesperson, following like a personal shopper kind of feeling rather than just, just an everyday salesperson, I guess. Um, Lorraine says, this is so helpful. Thank you, William. I'm glad. I know a lot of people watching don't do shows, but I hope that if you do, or you sell on, selling online, or as Kimberly said, being on a video thing like this too, um, is kind of the same thing. There are days I get off of here and I'm like, did I just talk way too much about myself? But you know what? I hope that's not the case. I hope people will be like, William, that's enough. Let's, if I ever get to that point. But, it's also, I think, people, people obviously tune in because they know who we are and they know what we do and they want to hear from us, I hope. And, um, for the most part, the same goes for your business. If people are stopping at your business, if they are visiting your Facebook page, if they are coming to your YouTube channel, they are there for no other reason than to know you. That's it. Maybe your products, maybe they don't want to know you. Most people want to know the makers. Um, and so there is no reason to be shy I think, on a YouTube channel, um, in your own store, at your own booth. There's absolutely no reason. And I know that that does not override when people are shy. I am a shy person, believe it or not. I really am. And, but when people are coming to me for something, that kind of goes away for the most part. Now, there are still personalities that might walk into our store or walk up to the booth that intimidate me, and then I get quiet. And that happens because there are certain personalities I'm not always comfortable with, and that's a personal thing. It's nothing to be said about the person on the other side of that. It's just sometimes people, especially people with very big energy, um, I am intimidated by that sometimes. So I become more quiet, even in my own location, in my own space. But for the most part, I'm going to, talk to you like you are my friend who I haven't seen in a while and be like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Where'd you come from this time? Like, that's just who I'm going to be. And I think, it's because that's how I would rather do business. I would rather do business with people who like that and people who get that and people who want that vibe. And those are my people. Like you are my people because you sit here and listen to me do this and you react and you talk to me and you give me comments and you feed off of this too, just as I feed off of what you're saying. Um, and that's not everybody. We're not the biggest bead store in the world for sure. Um, but what we have, I think, is special. And we attract the people that like that more personal touch with things. And, and I think that that goes a long way into, making relationships last. I would rather have long lasting relationships than customers that just come and go real quick. Because that's just selling. And there's a whole lot more to what we do than just selling. I am not, I always, I don't think of us in the business of sales. We have to make sales to survive. But I am not in the business of selling. I do not, I don't, I don't really like selling, you know? And I don't mean that in like, I love what we do, but um, I always say if we could take the selling component out of this, we would do the exact same thing. We would sit here and chat with you and hang out with you pretty much every day and probably show you more tutorials at least and do things like that and share more techniques. And that's why I love sharing these things that I can talk about sometimes. Because I think, anytime we can share information with one another and do things that help one another, I think it's useful and it's good and it builds relationships. Selling, putting things in an online store, having people buy them, packing them up, shipping them out, and doing that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. If there's not a bigger component behind that, like what we try and do, getting to know people and recognize, oh, that's that person that we talked to, that they were new on the live the other day. And if we don't have that connection, it's very difficult for me. I don't, some people love sales. They like to, oh, we made this number last month. I want to beat this number. I want to do this. And yes, of course, we always want to beat our numbers, but they really gamify it, and that's their thing. My thing is people, and I would rather get to know people and have the sales hopefully follow that rather than, make the sales and maybe get to know the people. It's just the way we are. And maybe that's not the best way to be. I don't know. We definitely, we have grown a lot. We've done a lot. I'm very proud of us as a company and proud of me and Andrew for what we have done together. Not to minimize that, but we are definitely not the biggest out there. We are not, living at large in any way. We struggle week to week, day to day. There are some days that we struggle a lot. There are some days that we are flush and it's happy times, right? We can maybe go out to a restaurant. That would be nice, right? Other days we're like, it's time to go get ramen at the grocery store or the Dollar General because that's what we're eating tonight, and that can be the next day. So it is like that in what we do. Maybe we should gamify numbers a little more, but it's not. We wouldn't be happy for very long doing it that way. And I think you have to do what you're happy doing if you're trying to do this small business thing. Otherwise, what's the point? Go work for someone else that, you get a steady paycheck and, Kimberly says, when Sprint stopped selling long distance via cold cars, we started taking repair customer service and we had to upsell at the end of the call. Hated that. Yeah, that's like, they just got something fixed and now you want to try and make them take more. Like they just had to go through the process. Yeah, that's no good. Sometimes I don't get it. Like, maybe follow up on that call in a week or two and be like, hey, are your problems resolved? And then if they're like, yes, and they're happy with what happened, then say, hey, you know what? We have this deal. Maybe like that. But trying to resolve something and then immediately, no. Let's see. Kimberly says, they're calling because their phone line is messed up and you want me to sell them more service. Yeah, that's exactly like why. Sandra says, video is such a struggle for me. I know I have great stuff, but afraid to go on camera. See, this is one of those things too. I get shy on camera. It's weird. I am like when I was helping Nadia set up the show for Spark at Touchstone, she was doing a travel vlog because she was coming from Baltimore and she wanted to vlog her adventures. And I think it was even more than that because she was getting ready to go somewhere else. And she wanted me to say something. Well, she asked if I would, if she could video me saying something about what we're doing, and I froze because I was like, I don't know what to talk about. But you know what? I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. Because I go on video every single freaking day and I can do this, right? And when we did our live around towns, if you remember our around the town, They started out us just literally going around town and talking to people on the lives about what every store in Ligonier was on, like, West. We went down West Main Street, I think, or maybe, I don't know. I don't remember what the first one was, but we just started naming the stores and letting people know what they sold and what we knew about them. And every single time we would do another one of those, I would get that sick feeling in my stomach, like, oh, like I got to do this again, because it's, you don't know who's going to watch, you don't know what's going to do, you don't know if anybody's going to watch at all. It's a scary thing. Every time, I don't get it so much now. um, you know I'm pretty comfortable with it. We don't have huge numbers and viewers. Maybe if we got tons and tons of viewers, it might intimidate me a little bit. Maybe if we got nobody in viewers, that might intimidate me a little bit. Maybe, but we started out with, like, not getting a lot, and we just kept doing it. Um, and now I can pretty much talk to a camera if you give me something to talk about, or if I am able to pick out something to talk about. Like, I've just been talking for over an hour here about this. Um, and it doesn't feel like, to me, over an hour. Maybe it does to you. I'm sorry if it feels like over an hour. Um, but I know this is not useful to everybody. But it is, you might be afraid to go on camera, but you just have to do it. Like, for one, like, when my eye was really bad, did I want to go on camera? No, because I knew that as soon as every single new person would come on, there was going to be that questioning. Like, I talked about, like, this is my eye, this is what's going on. But every time, and it did happen here and there, somebody new popped on and be like, oh, was your eye okay? And you go over the story again, or and it makes you very self-conscious. It makes you, something that you're already self-conscious of. It's going to be brought up again and again and again and again. But I will say, most of the time, that doesn't happen. And so, I still get self-conscious sometimes, especially when things like that happen. But I will tell you from experience that most of the time that you're on camera, people aren't going to say stuff like that. People are just going to listen. If they're tuning in, they're tuning in to hear your message. That's why they're tuning in. So that's why I try to say, don't be afraid on camera. Pretend you're talking to your friends, because you are. There's going to be somebody. I get remarks every once in a while on our YouTube channel. I've been called names on our YouTube channel in the comments. And if it happens live, you try to ban people, right? And sometimes you have to do that, but you don't let it get to you. And I'm somebody who is very self-conscious. I am somebody who, in person, if somebody says something mean to me, it will affect my entire day. I will think about it for like 3 weeks. It doesn't matter how many people say something nice. It takes one person to say something mean. And it's sometimes like that on video. But at the same point, there's more good to this than the bad. And like I said, if people are tuning into your video and they're hanging out to chat with you or listen to you, they obviously want to, because in this day and age, if somebody listens for more than like 3 seconds, then that's an obvious showing that they want to hear what you're saying. Because most people, I think it's anywhere between 1 to 3 seconds will flick you away if they don't want to listen to what you're talking about or hear what you have to say. So don't worry about it. Just get on camera. Just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? People aren't going to watch. I worry about that still every day. I have numbers here, at least, that tell me some people are watching, right? It's easier that way. If those numbers were at 0 for too long, then I would, know to probably change my tactics, or, it's all a game of finding out what works. And maybe video is not your thing. It doesn't have to be. There are people who make things who never, ever, 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 ever go on video. They show pictures. Um, they show their products. They never show their face. Sometimes they do show their face. Um, but I like video. I like hanging out this way. And this is one of my favorite things to do. And so that's why we do it. But it's not for everybody. But don't be afraid to do it, I think is what I'm trying to say. And I know that's easier said than done. But give it a shot. And you can always take it down. People don't like what you did, take it down. But give people a chance to find you, because there's this thing that I listen to. I listen to a lot of manifestation channels now. I'm trying to be more I've talked to you all a little bit about how I'm like a realist, but I'm actually really a pessimist. So I'm trying to listen to more of these manifestation things and kind of change my attitude through them a little bit, and they're helping. But there's this one that talks about you are here for something, right? You are here for a reason. That thing you love to do. What do you love to do? For many of you, it's make jewelry. For many of you, it's sell jewelry. Sell the things you make. Sandra, for example, not to call you out, but to call you out since you were talking about being afraid on camera. You love making the jewelry. You love putting it out there. You do great emails about it. You do wonderful posts about the jewelry. You love doing that. And if you are doing what you love to do, then you are one side of a coin, right? You are one side of a coin, but there's always the other side. And the other side are the people who love to listen, or who love to purchase, or who love to see. And if you are doing something you love and that you have found purpose in that, then there has to be a reason. There has to be an other side to that. There has to be the other part, the magnet that's going to come to you. You are bringing in that energy. You're putting it out there so that you can bring in that energy. You are not here. You are not going to go out there into the world, do what you love to do, and not affect anybody. That's pretty much impossible. If you are doing what you're meant to do, there's another side of that coin, and that other side of the coin is the people who love what you do and who will come to you. So that has really helped me, keeping that in mind, that doing what you love and doing the thing that you feel is really you, there has to be someone else out there who is looking for exactly that in their lives. And that was they talk about it in various ways, but in one of the ways that they talk about it is talking about healers. I was just listening to a thing about healers the other day, and healers are out there trying to help people, and the people who find a healer are the people who are most going to be helped by that healer, right? They sought out a particular healer for a particular thing. And so they are already going to be mentally ready, physically ready to try to be helped by that person. So it's a two-way thing. The healer can't do anything without the person who's being healed being in that together. And even if that whole thing is for that person who's being healed to say, I cannot be healed. No healer can heal me. Even if they find a healer just to say, see, I was right. You can't heal me. Nobody can heal me. You have accomplished that for them. You have given them, it sounds so backwards, but it made so much sense to me. You have given them the ability to even though they're not healed, you gave them the ability to say, see, I was right about that, to succeed in what they set out to do, to give them success, in other words. Because sometimes that success is more important than the healing to somebody. And so thinking about it that way, if you are doing what you love to do, there are people in this world who will come to that and who need that. Anyway, okay, let me get up the comments because I see more comments coming and I'm falling behind. Let's see here. Anna says, totally agree. It's all about relationships to me. I sell a piece of me with each sale. Absolutely. And I think that's what's important. Hello, Anne. Anne is here. Hello, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Sorry I didn't see you until now. Anne says, Sandra, I've watched your videos. You have a charming presence, and it's obvious you are knowledgeable and enthusiastic about your product. It's true. It's true. Sandra really is. And says, thanks, Anne. I so appreciate your kind words. Yeah. And that's the thing. You will find your people by, doing what you love. If you are doing something you love, it is meant to be in the world. I fully believe that. I 100% believe that. And if you choose to put your energy into that, if you are wishy-washy about like, oh, I kind of want to dabble in this and I kind of want to dabble in that, and you don't, I think that can be questionable about how that's going to work for you. I can sometimes be that way 100%, and I've seen it. But when I decide that this is what I want, this is what I want to do, and when you put the energy into that, your people will find you. And I fully believe that. I've been shown that over and over and over in my life. And so if you want to get on that camera and you want to talk about your things, get on that camera, talk about your things. Show them why you enjoy doing what you're doing. Show them what you enjoy about it. Like, I'm sometimes a little bit of I don't know, a ham, whatever you want to call it, when I talk about some of the stuff and why I like stuff, and I joke about it, I get corny about it, but that's my personality. And, sometimes I look at things in the camera too long because I love it too, and I'm like amazed by it. And maybe that's not charming to some people, but I think the people who like that, they have found someone like them, and that's what we all hope for, right? Finding people who love what we do and who remind us of the things that maybe we're self-conscious about ourselves, right? Like, I'm a little nerdy, I'm a little geeky, and sometimes in certain circles, I feel very self-conscious about it. But when I'm with the people who get me, like you all, then I can go wild and I don't have to feel that way about myself. And the only way to find those people are for me to get on the camera and talk wild talk about the things we have and the things I love and why I love them. And otherwise, they're not going to know I'm one of their people, right? Anyway, let's start. Let's take a look at some of this stuff I've got for y'all tonight. I hope you like it. I did some random pulling tonight. I've got some stuff from Harry. I've got some checked glass. I've got some gemstones. I've got a lot of stuff. I should say Andrew's back, by the way. The reason you might hear him in the background. The reason you don't hear him here yet or see him here yet is because he is on a meeting. I said, of course, the very first day that we have a live that he's back and he has a meeting. I said, I thought you were going to do the live today. He's like, nope. He's like, you're great at it. Go right ahead. So he will probably join us. He was, I think, supposed to be over this meeting already, but he will be joining us in a little bit. So you'll get to hear from Andrew, and he will probably do a long talk about all his traveling. And I will try to continue showing things in the meantime, because I know y'all have been listening to me for an hour and a half, and I'm sorry that I've been going on this long, because normally we would start by now. But we called it Merry Monday, and I hope it's been a Merry Monday for all of you. It has been for me. I've been mostly working on orders, but I went out with the cats today. All the cats and I went out in the yard, and we hung out for a little bit in the yard. And Andrew and I got to catch up a little bit because we're still talking about the things that we missed in each other's lives the last 3 weeks. So we did some catching up today a little bit again. And of course, I was at the store yesterday, so we didn't get to talk as much yesterday. So Yeah, it's been a good Monday. It's been really good, and I feel good about where things are going. I feel good about, what's happening for us, and all. It's a good day, and that those are the days that I try to kind of savor, and and I think that's why I'm talking so much. I don't really want to get into this the selling part. I need to, um, but I like chatting with you all, and I really enjoy it. And on days where I feel good, that's what I want to do the most, is just kind of hang out. Um, but yeah, but I got to make sales because I got to be able to buy more bread. I used up the bread for toast this morning, so that's always that's always important. I gotta keep that mortgage paid. Um, So yeah, so let's start the live sale. Um, Suzanne says Harry is wonderful. Harry is wonderful. Not only is his work wonderful, but he is a wonderful human being. Um, and if you don't know that, and you don't know Harry, then join the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group, or join the William Tries Things group, the Triers, because Harry posts quite often in those, and you'll see his amazing work, whether it's photography or jewelry making or ceramics or music. Yeah, he's a really cool guy, and we love him a lot. And he deserves to have his things seen. So I'm going to show you some of his things tonight as well that we have. Um, Sanders says, William, I appreciate your encouragement. That was really helpful. I hope so. I know 100%, I do know that me saying don't worry about it isn't going to make you not worry about it. But I hope that something I said, if you're doing what you're meant to do, people will find you and they will love you. And, um, that's what we can hope for, right? Just to find more love around us and find our people. And I think I don't think to sell things and to be a designer or to be a maker, I don't think you have to put on airs. I don't think you should have to, make yourself something you're not. You know, I know, Sandra, you sell a lot of high-end things, and there's sometimes that attitude people feel like needs to go with that. But if that's not you, then I don't, you shouldn't try to make it you. If it is you, that's fine too. Um, I know better. I know you're down to earth too, um, but I think being yourself and being real is how you're going to find your people, and I think that's more important to find your people than to make a life based on a fiction that wears you down, because it will. Because I did that for a very long time. That's how I know. I was a fiction for a very long time to cover up a lot of things. And I'm still working on it, but I'm peeling back layers, and it's so much more comfortable and easy just to be who I am rather than try to keep all that up. Harry Poston shares everyone's work. Love that about him. It's true, Kimberly. He does. He shares all the time. Kimberly says also love his work. Yep. Harry has shown some really great bowls lately. Yep. He's done a lot of good stuff. I was going to show some of his bowls today, but the last live I did with some of Harry's stuff, people weren't buying the bowls. So I figured I'm going to do mostly pendants of his today that I'm going to show you. I think that's all that I have, but some are bigger, some of the bigger pendants, which I think are really cool. So, all right, let's get this started because I've chatted enough, and you're probably tired of me chatting and just doing chatting. But I do hope it's helped some of you, especially if you do shows. You do shows. And remember, please remember, as we always say, if you have questions about something that we do or we talk about, don't ever hesitate to ask us. You can send us an email. I've had a number of people, like sometimes people are like, oh no, I just buy from them. I don't, no, you don't just buy from us. You're friends. And if you have questions about things, if we can help you, we are happy to help. Now, of course, we have some secrets, right? There are some things we don't talk about. But there are many, 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 many more things that we talk about than we don't. And you should never hesitate to ask us, because I'll say this. You should never hesitate to ask us, as long as you are willing to accept us saying we can't share that, right? And I think that's only fair. And so we are always willing to talk about things that we do. I have shared, systems that we use with people as far as software, and I am generally we're kind of a lot of open books. And I think that's, the more people that do the things, um, you make more sales. It helps us. Hopefully, you'll continue buying from us, and we'll all make more sales together. That's the way I see it, and we'll all keep doing the things we love doing and doing them together. And hopefully, the money flows and allows us all to keep doing that. That's the whole point, right? The money, to me, is not the end game. The money is it's simply the ability to continue. I don't need to end life with millions of dollars in the bank. That's not important to me. Just the ability to comfortably live and continue doing the things we love doing. And if we can all keep doing that together, I think that's pretty brilliant. Okay. Anyway. That's a lot of chit chat for today. I hope it didn't overwhelm or bother anybody. I get a little self-conscious sometimes, especially when I look back and I'm like, whew, that was a long time, and I haven't even started the live. Let me see. This is Merry Monday. Let's do MMW lots. I don't think I've ever done that. Let me check just to make sure. MMW lots. Because sometimes I think I didn't do something. I'm like, oh, yep, just used it last week. Because my brain is not that great. MMW. So if you see something you like in this show, we give it a little piece of paper with a lot number. MMW1, for example. Take down that number, put it in the subject line of an email, send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's how you purchase. Remember, if you do send us an email, you are promising to take it. That is a big part of this. You are promising to take it if you get it. Some things are everything is first come, first serve. Some things are very limited in quantity. Most things tonight are going to be very limited in quantity. So you may not get everything you request, but if you do get it, you are promising to take it. We will send out an invoice at the end of the show after I do the spreadsheet and get everything together. Sometimes it's pretty close to the end of the show. Sometimes it's up to, the next day, depending on how crazy our night is and when we have to get home and all that good stuff. All right. MMW1, for example. So let's go ahead. What do I have here? Let's see. This was... Let me take a drink because I've been talking a lot. Okay. This was 8. I'm going to bring it down to 7. I can't go too low on this because I know what it was. This is check glass. And these are skull check glass beads. They're nice and thin. It's a cool design. And one side is kind of just a plain yellow glass, and the other side has a metallic AB coating. And you get the whole strand. MMW1 was $8. This is something from our store. This is I think the very last one of these available. So I'm bringing it down to $7 for you all. And these beads, let me make sure this is zeroed out. These beads are about 15 by 17.5. Kimberly says, oh wow, I've never seen skulls like that. So cool. Yeah, I believe we imported these, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew imported these from the Czech Republic directly. We did not go through a supplier, I think, for those. Sometimes we do that. We haven't done that in a while. And with tariffs, I don't know that we'll be doing that for quite some time. We're pretty small to be doing that, but I think we did it with those. So there's one of those available. And yeah. Anyway, last one. This is a piece by Harry Wood. This was 18. I'm going to bring it down to 16 for you all. Whoa, I'm throwing papers on the floor. This is a beautiful ceramic wing pendant by Harry. And I believe this is a raku. And it's really, really cool. Let me move my light. I moved my light for my camera. There, that's better. Now you can see that better, I think. Beautiful wing pendant by Harry. This thing. Let me see if I can. Sometimes if I do this. It sometimes zeroes it out and keeps it there. This is about 25.5 millimeters by 67 with the bail. MMW2, one of those available. Have I worn everybody out with all the talk? Are y'all like, oh, I gotta go to bed now? Probably, right? Sorry if I talk too much. Like I said, I know it's not. I know what I was talking about is not interesting for everybody, especially if you don't do sales. Then you're like, well, that's not really my thing. But I hope everybody got something out of it. The last thing I want to do is be like, oh, have people come on and be like, oh, he's just going to talk about things I have no interest in again. I don't want that. MMW3 is this Mary pendant. Created and glazed and done up by Harry. It is 31 by 34 millimeters. And I like how this kind of, I like he left this kind of rough edge around here. It's not perfect and it makes it look older. I love how he did that. But you can see it's all glazed over, so you know it's not chipped. He did that on purpose. And I love it. And says, I came home from work worn out. Nothing to do with you. Oh, good. I hope it didn't wear you out more. Oh, sorry. All my papers are flying down on the floor. Yeah, I'm now I'm getting pretty worn out myself. So I'm going to try and keep the energy up for y'all because that's important to me. But I'm starting to feel it. I don't know what we're going to eat tonight. I think we have more pasta. We can make pasta if we need to. What did you all have to eat? There's more people here now than there was before, so I don't know what that says. When I stop talking, the numbers go up. I don't know what that means to me. MMW4. Let's see. We had this at 16. I'll bring it down to 12. Let's just do it at 12 for y'all. This is a really nice strand. I think it's a shorter strand. Let me see the size. That's why I set it at that price. So I'm hoping I was right. Yeah, it's a 14-inch, which is not really that small. This is a really nice quality smoky quartz. Like, look how dark it is. Kimberly says, headed to DG to get something to cook. That's our DG closes at 10. I'm not going to make it. So I think we have spaghetti um, in the cabinet. I was thinking Andrew could do part of the show and I can maybe run down to DG Art myself to get something, but I don't think that's going to happen. So this is really dark smoke. Like, look how dark that is. Dark smoky quartz. And this string is really long. That's why there's space in between. But really dark smoky quartz. Nice. It's 7 millimeters. This is a vintage strand. 7 millimeters. Ours closes at 10.2, but it's 8 here. Yeah, we're at 9.15 here. So Sanders says spaghetti is always the backup in my house. Me too. But now that Andrew's back, he can make up something from like nothing. So he can probably make up something that I could never make up. But for me, it's usually spaghetti is the backup. And it says I had an a la carte dinner, carrots and cucumbers with blue cheese dip, and then cottage cheese with strawberries. That sounds good. There were times when Andrew was away, I was just having like, I did that. So I think I talked about this. Like I would have pickled beets, but then I would have carrots with like a Marzetti's ranch dressing, and or mushrooms with ranch, and it would just be picking and choosing things like that. And sometimes those are the best. I kind of like it when it's like that. All right, I'm going to move some of these away. MMW1, we're going to take it away. Nobody has gotten that yet, so it's still available, but I'm going to make room on the mat. Okay, let's move this over. This is the hairy wing, hairy pendant there. MW4, this is the smoky quartz in that deep, deep, deep color. MMW5. Oh, and I do want to check. Didn't check my junk mail. Let me make sure that I'm getting my junk mail out of there. Okay. Nobody going to junk. Good. Don't anyone go to junk. Diane had chicken Florentine fettuccine with garlic toast. Ooh, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. Chicken Florentine. Oh, sometimes I miss some of that stuff. This is $8. This is a pair, but not a pair. It's 2. I should just say 2. It's not a pair because they are not the same. But it's 2 check glass buttons, vintage check glass buttons. Glass backed all the way. And they've got these lovely designs / cutouts. Super cool, I think. There are 2 different shapes too. This one is about 17.3 by 15.2, and this one is round at about 17.5. This one's a little bit oblong. I love them both. I think they're both really cool. If you collect check glass buttons, especially vintage ones, I think that's a good deal. $8. Normally it'd be like $8 a piece. Norma had taco salad. Ooh, I miss taco salad. I don't know why I don't make fake meat taco salad. Because I love taco salad. I also love nachos, like taco mix and meat on nachos. And I never make that. Ever since I've been vegetarian, I don't think I've ever made that. And I don't know why. I should, because I love it. But I haven't. All right, maybe you didn't like the other rose quartz, or yeah, rose quartz, smoky quartz. I've got another strand for you. This one's more. Oh, I just sold 5. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop the price a lot on this one. That's what, nearly 20%. This is a beautiful strand, not the dark color, but the nearly crystal clarity in these faceted rounds of smoky quartz. Like, look, that's real quartz, y'all. There are a few inclusions here and there that help you know that it's not glass, right? And there's no bubbles, which you would see if it were glass a lot of times. But this is really beautiful smoky quartz, faceted rounds. These are about 9.7, 9.5, we'll say 9.5 millimeters. And this should be, yeah, this is a 16-inch strand. Kimberly says, holy smoky, right? It's beautiful. Somebody just tried to buy 5 again. I'm sorry, 5 is already sold. Kimberly said, those are fantastic. I know, and at 30 bucks, I'm just giving it away, trying to get people to shop tonight. Andrew spent the money on the gas. We gotta make that back up. I also paid the car loan for the for the month, so we're making that money back up, right? Norma says, I didn't have tortilla chips, but I had Fritos, so I used those. It was pretty good. I'm not a Frito fan, I have to say. I do like tortilla chips, but for some reason, Frito, and I shouldn't say that because I haven't tried them in many, many years. But Andrew likes the Fritos. We get him I think it's the barbecue honey. Is it barbecue honey or just barbecue? I think it's barbecue honey Fritos, and he likes those. And I haven't actually tried those. But I've always felt Fritos, even when I was young, they're like too much, that somehow they're like a high-powered corn chip, right? It's like too much corn. Anyway, that's a me thing, not an everybody thing for sure. But I always felt they were too strong in their corniness, if that's a thing. Susie says, I'm happy Andrew is home. Me too. He's going to be leaving us again soon, but I'm happy he's home for now. Let's see, this is really nice. This was 24. And I will make it, let's bring it down to 18. Oh, I think I'm starting to break out a little bit. My hand's been itchy all day, and it often starts with my hands or my wrists when I start to break out. And I don't know why. I only had eggs today and bread, toast, and there's nothing there that should make me break out, but I did have onion powder, maybe, and garlic powder. Maybe that I overdid it. Anyway, these are a lovely, lovely strand of dogtooth amethyst smooth drops. Norma says, Fritos are strong. I have to be in the mood for them. They worked mixed in the salad. Yeah, I bet they'd be actually really good in a taco salad. I shouldn't take that away from them because I bet they would be actually excellent with all the taco seasoning and all that stuff with them. But you're right, they are stronger, and I would have to be in a mood. And I don't like corn chips that much. Unless they're covered in like salsa and sour cream and cheese, then I love a corn chip. It's like a vehicle for the rest of everything else. These are beautiful, a beautiful vintage strand. This is about a 14-inch strand of the dogtooth amethyst. Kind of dogtooth. I don't know if I would call this dogtooth. There's a little bit of it on there. And that's what I started with. But as I go around, there's not as much. But it's still really pretty amethyst. And one strand of those, MMW7. Okay, let me put away MMW2. That's the Harry Wood ceramic wing pendant. put away MMW3 as well. It's the Mary pendant, $14. And I'm going to move these down. This beautiful smoky quartz. This beautiful. Did you see that, everybody? Did you see that smoky quartz? How wonderful. Top quality right there. Smoky quartz. And MMW7 are these. Amethyst. Beautiful amethyst. Was 24 for the strand. Now 18. And next up, let me see. These are. I can get the bag open. These are carved bone. I'm gonna give you a good deal on these. $6. $1 a piece. Hand carved bone in these, I don't know what shape you would call this, but interesting designs. And you get 6 of them in various sizes. I think they're just really cool. They'd be great to use as a what's the word? A bead in a bracelet. A focal, that's the word. Like a focal in a bracelet. Or I think even in a necklace, right? Or if you could bring 2 strands through there and drop some beads off of each one. Thank you, Kimberly says focal. Yes, my brain. I went through all that talk. I did pretty well with that talk, not losing words, but it's when I'm not streaming my what do they call that when you stream of consciousness? Is that stream of consciousness talking? How do they do that? Yeah, when I'm not doing that, then I lose words. When I'm thinking too hard is what happens. Oh, we sold MMW6. Thank you so much. That one is now sold. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. Okay. Sometimes things are just too nice and too good a price to let go, right? That's what I think. Okay, what's next? These are kind of really cool. The old price in these were $14 for the pair, and I'm going to leave it at that because I think they're worth it. These are from Janaea Beads. They were $14 for the pair. And they're these awesome head pins. I don't know. I think I can open this. Sorry, the bag's a little bit. This is old. Let me see if I can get them out. They're really long wires, so that makes them nice. But these are glass, and they're light blue, and it's kind of like a sugar coat. And they're just really cool. And you get the very long wire on them. So you can do a lot with them if you want to. And they're $14 each. They are artisan made. And it's probably not something, you're not going to probably see these around much. Get this one back in there. Get back in there. There we go. Let me wrap this back up. So So there it is. Kimberly says, if I got that smoky, I agree. Quality and price was too good to pass up. Yes, it is. It is. Oh, just sold MMW7 as well. That's the amethyst. Thank you. Thank you. Sandra says, that is so cool. I was running behind in the video and it actually said I was actually behind like a minute and a half. Yeah, I try to remind people at some point during our lives that if you are on YouTube, it will allow you to watch in the past. So especially during the live show portion of things, always check to make sure that you are not in the past. You may not even realize you are in the past. So always make sure that you are up to the live moment in the feed if you're watching on YouTube, because you can miss out on things because you're not watching live. And we sometimes get that. And yeah. So that is, we sold MMW9. Thank you so much. We're going to put that away. Where are we at here? Does that fit in this bag? I need to find a bigger bag for that. Oh, wait. Oh, somebody was trying to get 9. My 9 looked like a 7. So I will let that go because that's my fault, because my handwriting is terrible. So MMW7 is not sold. MMW9 is sold. So I'm going to put this back out. I think that's what the person meant anyway. If the person who sent in 7 actually wanted 7, please let me know. But it sounds like from your email you did not. And that's my fault, because normally we don't do take backs, right? But I'm doing it because that was my handwriting being bad, confusing people. Sandra says it comes up in the lower left hand bottom corner. Boy, we're just, the numbers, I don't know what to believe tonight. The numbers on our live are fluctuating wildly. So I don't know what's going on. At one point we had 20 people. We just dropped down to 10. I don't know if that's true or not. That's so weird. Norma says, it's true. Sometimes it will pause without my realizing it. I usually close and reopen YouTube periodically to make sure I'm current. That's a good way to do it too. Because I think, yeah, when you close and open, it should come back to the current, right? It's a good thing to do. These are glass pearls. Anna says, that's a reminder to like and share, right? Please do. And please hit the thumbs up. It says we've got 2 thumbs up / heart reactions. And if there were 20 people watching and only 2 thumbs up us, that's sad times, y'all. Sad times. Kimberly says, Norma, you can just click on the live circle and it will bring you current. I don't know what I don't remember seeing a live circle on mine either. It says 10, says Sandra. Yeah, mine says 10 watching. Oh, 10 thumbs ups. That's good. I think that my thumbs ups only count Facebook ones. I think that's what's going on, because we don't get a lot of viewers on Facebook anymore. So I kind of think that's why it always looks low. Or do you mean 10 watching? Because I'm showing 10 watching right now, which is so weird. Because we just had 20 a little bit ago. These are vintage glass pearls, 8mm. You get a whole. This is what, a 15. A 16. That's about a 16-inch strand, and it's this pretty light pinky purple color. Glass pearls, but nice. Only $4 for the strand. Kimberly says it's on the bottom left. The red circle turns gray when you are not live. And if you touch that gray circle, it will bring you to live. Huh. I think I may have just learned something. Sandra says 10 watching, 11 now. Yeah, so everybody must be watching on YouTube because I'm showing exactly 11 as well. So there's no one watching on Facebook? That's wild. I mean, usually our Facebook's lower, but that's wild. Well, hello.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Well.
You here to take over for me?
Not necessarily.
Maybe you can.
What's happening in our lives?
I don't know. Andrew's here.
Who am I? Where am I?
Here, I'll let you get under here a little bit. I need to stretch a little. I'm going to stretch way over here for a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead. I know you want to show.
You have to poop?
He's going to do some show and tell. No, that does not mean that. But I do. My back's starting to hurt a little bit on that chair.
Wow. I am going to do an intermission.
Oh, Diane's on Facebook. So there is somebody out there. See the numbers? I think it times out on Facebook if people are just watching and not.
So for all the new folks, hello, my name is Andrew. I'm the co-owner and creative director of Allegory Gallery. We're currently at Star Cottage Studio in lovely Ligonier, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we are.
I've been on the road since forever, it seems like. I was at Haystack, which is in coastal Vermont, or Maine. I'm like, Massachusetts, Maine, somewhere in New England.
Did you drive through? Yeah.
So I was there for 2 weeks, and then I was here for about 10 minutes, did my laundry, got back on the road, and headed down to North Carolina, where I was taking a workshop at Pocosin for a week. So I've been gone for 3 weeks. I can't believe it, y'all. What? You're fine. Don't make that face. Act like you like it.
And then being away from you.
And then it's fine. Absence makes the heart grow. What do they say?
Make the heart grow fonder.
And then they made a joke on the Star Trek that if you don't have a heart, then you die. Anyways, he was joking. Spock. That's Spock.
That was Spock trying to joke.
LOL. So I'll show you the things that I made at Pocosin real fast because I think you would enjoy these. Look, Root Baby. Hi, Fran. Look, I need to polish it some more and grind down some of the stuff. But what do y'all think of that?
He carved that in wax.
I carved that in wax and then cast it. Anna says, missed hearing your voice, but love seeing your posts. Well, I have a phone. You can call.
You can call. He's going to offer calling to everybody.
Yeah. I may not pick up. And then I made this. Look at this. It's a little eye. There's a little tiny ruby in this eyeball hole. Synthetic. And then, what else did I make? So then I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I made this little bird with side eye. Whoop. It pecked the screen. Look at it. Oh, my word. She had us make these bumps, but I think it looks like air bubbles on the ring, so I might grind that business off. Diane says, looks like a mandrake baby for, yeah, it's a mandrake. Well, kind of. So when I was growing up, my grandma, sometimes we would ask her questions about life. And some of those questions.
How are babies made?
So yes, how are babies made? And so she found this knot in a tree, and she goes, "That's where the babies come out." I said, "Is that true?" Like I grew up watching Dynasty in Dallas. I knew where babies came from, and it wasn't the root in the tree. But so, anyways, and then my mom, she's from the Philippines, and she would talk to the plants. And so it's a very like I mean, I don't know if it's common where she's from, but I think it's like a part of just how she does stuff. But anyway, so she's talking to the the plants, and so we always kind of imagined that the plants had personalities. And then my grandma in her kitchen in Piggott, Arkansas, which William got to see the outside of the house.
I did.
She had the yellow kitchen, which we have a yellow kitchen now, and she had this chalkware plaques of fruits and vegetables with faces, and I would make stories up about them. And yeah, so I am all for creature feature time with plants having human characteristics. So yes, from mandrakes, but also all that other stuff.
Root baby.
Root baby. It looks like
it's surprised by you.
Correct. It got picked out the ground and it said, oh.
It says, whoa.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
See? The one gonna do sound effect. It's gonna be puppet hour here. And then I made this ring for a child. I have to clean it up and grind it.
It's actually pretty big.
Is it? He told me that I don't want to put it on.
But I have big fingers.
So there you go, my pimp ring. No, that's not appropriate. Anyway, numbers dropped when I said that. Anyway, I made that.
The numbers have been fluctuating wildly tonight.
Oh, I thought this one wasn't going to come out at all. And then it did, but the stone cracked, so I can't sell it. But and I have to clean all the sprues up off the back. And then I made this snake.
And you are seeing these before he's polished them.
Correct.
So these will be pretty in silver and bronze polished.
These ones are pretty much, that's how it's going to look. But this stuff needs to get polished up. And then I moved into more silver. How does that look?
That's some silvery silver.
I know. It's Mithril. Mithril. What they call that in this the movie with the hobbits? Lord of the Rings? Mithril? I don't know. Something that they made the elf child the armor, and then Frodo got it. I think. And it's like supposed to be super bright white. Well, there you go. That's what it looks like. It's a special blend. And then I also made this. And I also made this.
These little coins. These coins are cool.
These ones are, I hope, easy to clean up. I'm just going to take a saw and chop that off.
Little tiny eyes and the birds.
I made this. And then I made this.
And then I made this.
I don't know. That kind of looks like something's happening to its eye, but that's all right. And then I made this. This one's a bee. So we are almost ready to set this up in the casting. I kind of took notes about how all the machines were set up and the ventilation that's required. So now we're pretty much good to go. We still got to build a table, but that'll be quick. And we're getting closer soon.
We'll start pumping out some metal.
Yeah, correct. And I think that's fun. And then what else I did?
What you got in that little cup?
Oh, so I started making a mold of this, and then I was gonna do this one where I was gonna cover this in like wax, and then cut the wax up, and then put the wax together. And I had another idea of making a mold for the wax, but it didn't work. I got stuck. One of my friends, they gave me this. It's our friendship ring. I was like, we must not be close friends. No, bless her heart. These are raw sapphires, so I'm gonna dig them out. And then they'll go back into something. That was funny. She was funny. She's from San Diego. she's making me laugh. I was telling her about how I do the gua sha on my face so I stay young. And she's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Don't act surprised." All right. So I got some more things to share. So don't fall asleep just yet.
Wait for William to come back.
I got this as a little prize. The teacher gave this for me for the quiz. I got the most answers right.
That's cute.
I'm gonna put that on a necklace. I also found this frog.
Yeah, I saw that little frog.
See it? She made that frog. So what it is they hide a frog at Pocosin. If you find the thing, then you get a free T-shirt. And they are real wild about where they hid that. Let me tell you. Okay.
Do they give you clues at least?
They do give you clues. And there's a new clue every day. And there was this one person who's sitting across from me named Sam, and he was on fire to win that frog. And I mean, he was like searching high and low. I kind of was searching too, but like low key because I'm mildly competitive. Not real like extra competitive, but just slightly. But he really wanted them. So I was like, all right, well, let's just let him. And he went out and he followed them clues. You know where they put it? They put this concrete frog in some cheese salsa that they left out. So he had to reach inside and fish around and dig around in this thing of salsa, this cheesy salsa, to get the fries. So you earned it. You earned it. Because this is not Fun Factor up in here. I'm not gonna have the Slimer time or whatever they call it. So he earned it. And then my teacher was like, "That's so fun. We have a week left. Let's go and hide another frog." So she made this frog and then she hid it. And then I was going up the stairs and it glinted into my eyes and penetrated my soul. And I wanted it and I got it. And then the teacher, I didn't really want the other one. I knew I was going to buy a t-shirt anyway. So, I mean, it would have been nice because I like the person who made it. But I really wanted this one. So that's what I put in my mind and I found it. Now, the other thing that happened was because the teacher felt bad that Sam didn't find this one. I was like, how come Sam gets everything? The teacher also made Sam a little frog friend.
That's cute.
And she made it.
To find it.
No, he didn't have to find it. And Susan got one too.
Oh.
So she's just handing them out like candy.
It's like I had to find.
I know. Where's my clue? I got another one. But I did get this, so I made up. So she's a wonderful teacher, and I give her A+.
A+.
Yeah, I would take a class with her again. And we would do the wax. I would take that exactly again.
Exactly.
I did the work study, and it was hard. Well, it wasn't too bad.
They had you making beds?
The last day was hard. Kamisha, she took Kamisha. She had us work hard for the money. Let me tell you. She goes, "This nasty. Keep going." And so I went, and you get frog, and you get frog, and you get frog. Yeah, that was Stacy handing out them frogs. And so Kamisha, she worked me hard. She goes, "That's nasty. Go ahead."
So what did you do for work study?
So during the week, it was easy. I thought, oh, this is so easy.
You didn't even tell me.
So you check people in, and you like wipe tables, and you make sure everything's full up on the water and stuff. And I was with this one, and he was real quiet, and he don't like to talk to people, so he wanted to be in the back and hide. I'm like, there's 20 people. It's not like they're gonna hurt you. But he was real shy, so he wanted to be in the back. So I said, all right. And he really wanted to do those dishes. So I said, all right, you can, treat yourself. I mean, I helped a little bit. I would spritz some water on a couple of plates here and there. But, I didn't have to go and scrub anything. So Pocosin's a smaller school. So if you're going to do work study, do it there. Because work study at Penland is more challenging just because there's like 100 people instead of like 20.
did dishes.
Yeah, and my back is still remembers. But if anybody who's at school is watching this, I love work study and I'll do whatever you want. Anyway, so Kamisha, she worked us hard and we had to make the beds and do all this stuff and sweep the floors
was
and
on
mop the
Saturday?
floors and scrub the bathrooms and do. I was like, "You do this at your own house?" She goes, "Yep." And she goes, "And I don't have to do it a lot because I don't mess it up." And then she goes, "You need anything?" I said, "Vanilla latte." And she just laughed and laughed and laughed. Anyway, so let me show you what I did. So I was at Haystack for a long time. So I made a lot of stuff. This no particular order. So I made this carving, heron. See there? I did that. I carved that at the back of the glass. See it? Then I also made this. You can't see this. Look like Christmas tree. But it's there's pines and then there's the water and that's what it looks like, believe it or not.
Get it up there so they can see.
This is, see? There's the tree and then the
looks
water.
good.
There's a shooting star in the background. You can't see it, but it's there. And then I also made this owl.
Norma says that heron is gorgeous.
Thanks. What do you think about my little sassy owl?
Sassy owl. Love your artwork, says Kimberly.
Thanks.
That's cool, Andrew, says Kimberly.
Thanks. I don't actually talk to y'all. One has to read because I can't see. Then I made this because I thought I was gonna make this into a back plate because I'm a silly britches. So they're like, "What you doing?"
What you doing?
And I was like, "I'm gonna mess with this wire."
Ann says, I love the owl.
Well, what about this? No comment, huh?
Incredible work, says Anna.
Thanks.
Total sass in that owl. Love it, says Kimberly.
I know, it's all in that lifted leg. Like it's gonna doo-doo on something.
Norma says, love all of these.
Well, let me keep digging. I made this. Oh. What's happening? In coastal Maine, it ran around a little bit freer and easier. I carved that rabbit, and then I made this mechanism. Of course, I didn't polish the mechanism before I sealed this business shut. So, what? Oh, the owl is Kamisha says. Yeah, it is.
Sandra says, love the etched glass.
It's not etched, it's carved. I carved it. I should etch it with the laser. That'd be easier. Save my life force. So I made that. Oh, then I just happened to whip this up. This one I done. This is a quartz crystal, and I now you got me saying etching. No, I carved into this stone. I made this chain. What do you think about my chain?
So tell them the difference between carve and etch.
Etch is like an acid or abrasive removal. This is abrasive removal with a carving action. You dig in.
So clear.
It is.
I do.
One acid, eat it up.
I do like that chain.
Thanks. It's kind of a pain in the butt to make, but... And then I went freestyle and I made these. So you're not really seeing it very good, but so I woke up early in the morning. What? It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was early because we had to get up early for breakfast. Breakfast at 8. I didn't want to miss any meals. So I got up early and was like pretending like I was one of those like tortured poets and would like stare off into the distance and let the wind go and blow my leg hair. Because if you don't know me, I don't have no hair on my head except my eyebrows. My dark eyebrows were ruffling in the wind
Ruffling in the wind.
like a black flag.
Oh, mercy.
No. So, anyways, the tree ones. What's the tree ones? This.
All
That
carved.
one, I carved it. Intaglio. All tree. The carve. Zzz, it sounded like a tattoo parlor up in there. Zzz. And then, so I made this. So I went out and I did little watercolors, and then I embedded them behind, and I carved this rutilated quartz and set that on top. And I liked it so much I did it again.
Oh, I like that one.
See the rutile.
The rutiles.
See
Look
the
at that pretty
rutile.
blue watercolor behind it too.
I would say lavender, but
Gray.
everybody. And then I got another one. This one's not a quartz. It's a vintage rhinestone. I left some of the mirror backing on the back too for fun. They said it sounded like mosquitoes. You know what? Somebody did a mosquito, and they had many mosquitoes there, but they don't like my blood.
I may be confusing with engraving.
Engraving is usually in metal.
It's a whole different thing too.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Love those. They look like coral.
Yeah.
I really like those specimen pendants.
You like this one?
You like this one?
How about this one?
How about this one?
And then I made this. This ocean jasper.
I love that setting you did on.
I carved on. And then I did this setting. So it's gripping it. It's like how you call X3++ tab setting. I learned that. I did that on my own. Teacher didn't teach me that. I did that on my own. So I also made this. I'm not really a boat person, but I saw a boat off in the distance, so I took a picture of it, and then I carved it into this stone. And then it looks like this stone looks like it's getting shot down with a lightning on the stormy sea. See?
That's pretty cool.
That's a boat. And look, it looks like a lightning. That's not added. That's just a stone.
It's just the way it is.
Look. Thunder strike.
Lightning strike.
I'm sure there's thunder. Where there's thunder, there's lightning. It's some more effective. Thunder strike. Like you gonna
Ooh, that boat is pretty, says Norma.
Thanks. I did this one, but I haven't a chance to set it yet. I didn't take very many breaks like some of the people in my class. No.
Those slackers.
No, they worked hard, but not as hard as me. I won a fellowship, so I wanted, and then he was gonna come, so I wanted.
The person who provided it.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna make him feel like he got his money's worth.
You showed up with 2 things over 2 weeks.
I know.
Unless they were 2 amazing.
I told him. I said, "Are you proud of me?" And he was like, "This." He was slightly off put by that because like he got shocked. He wasn't prepared for me. But I played nice, you know.
People are.
You know, I didn't go full on because I wanted. Oh, I made those also. So this one's going to be a pin. I need to put the pin back. Yeah, if you don't like my attitude, then you I don't know what to tell you. Here you go. These ones I used in Stacy's class for molds. That's this. I hope I 100% don't drop this. And see that? Ooh. See?
So you carved that and then made a mold.
That was a mold.
Or used it for the mold.
And then
those little coins.
I did it.
And another little coin.
A little bee. This was the first day. They said, "You've done this before." I said, "No, I didn't. I'm just competent."
I'm just competent.
No, I didn't say that. I said, well, thank you. I appreciate your feedback. Look, this one looked tore up. All right, disappeared like it didn't
elven
exist.
person? What is that?
Here's another one. Made disappear. Here's another garbage trash one.
Garbage trash one.
Look, this one. Disappear. I'm not going to show those. I also cut out all these things because I was inspired by the seaweed. Boy, I like that seaweed. I even bit it with my mouth.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You eating the seaweed?
Yeah, they were look horrified. I looked it up first to make sure it wasn't poison.
Was it good?
No, it didn't taste like anything. You know what? I was surprised that it didn't smell more like how I thought it would.
Sea-like?
Yeah, because the air is so fresh there that it doesn't really smell like the sea. You know what? In North Carolina, it smelled like the sea more.
The humidity.
The humidity was so blooming hot. Oh, and I made this. This is the setting, the back plate. Don't look too close. I'll fix that eventually. And that's gonna be for this.
That's pretty.
Thanks. And then I also I carved this.
Oh.
I kind of didn't like how you couldn't see what I was doing. And then I was carving this, and then the teacher saw me and was like, don't do that. It's gonna give you the lung issues. So I stopped. Even though I was using oil. I was doing it the way they were showing me how to do it. So, frowny face. Look, it's frowning. But I still did it. And then I carved this. And they're like, you need to do that under the water. I was like, all right, whatever.
Now you did all this, and now that we sell hand-carved things for inexpensive, like, I would never do that for that.
Correct. And then I also made this. Look, this me. And then this even got the acne scars. And then I made this.
That's cool.
Except it got stained with a marker.
It looks like a cave painting, kind of.
I was trying for it, but it looked like it got stained by the marker, the Sharpie marker. And I was like, I said a bad word. I made this. This one don't look like nothing. Don't look at it.
Don't look at it.
And then I also made this. A bird. And then I made this.
That's a big one.
This one was nice. I did photo shoot with this. I examined it in the water.
It's hard to see the carvings on that.
I know. You have to hold it just right. And sometimes the words disappear completely, which I kind of like. When you get this wet, you can't see the carvings. It's pretty amazing how that works. And then I made some fruits and vegetables, and y'all paid for my gas. And that was real nice because I didn't want to be stranded.
Those are so cute.
I made them.
You need to make extra so we can put them on the website.
We'll see what happens. And then I also made this a pumpkin. Some of y'all be watching. This is getting the pre-tell. I showed it anyways. Radish. I thought I lost them. We looked and flipped the car. And I couldn't find them, and I was super, super upset. And I actually got on the road later than I wanted. And this thing, peach. I don't know, something. Oh, y'all didn't see the backs. There, I signed them. The one that I traded didn't get signed. The pear did well. People wanted that pear so hard. These are hand cut out too, so no two are exactly alike. The ones that I didn't get to make your eyes and mouth, that's gonna be different because I didn't steal the letters from the studio. I don't know, tomato. I made those in the night in my off hours.
Yeah, not during class time.
No, I'm not like that. I work hard and pay attention. I was sleepy though a lot of the time. What else did I make? I made some other stuff. Oh, I made this ring.
What? I didn't see that. What? Enormous is my tomato.
And this one fits me. Some people were making me wear this side today.
Today?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
I had to course correct somebody today. And then but I'm acting like this.
Like that.
Yeah, like this. But with the eyes closed.
Mood rings.
Correct. But I started off as a pendant. This was gonna be a pendant, and then you could like flip the pendant. But it can be worn as a ring, so 2 for 1.
Who doesn't love 2 for 1 deals?
And then
look at this abundance up here.
I told you I worked hard. I didn't slack. Oh, I started this. I didn't get a chance to do it yet, though. I don't know if I have to save up, get some more diamond bits. I'm going to carve into that. And then it's going to be like this. So I hope y'all buy a lot of stuff so I can buy some diamond bits.
We better get back to the selling portion
well,
of the show. Then.
Let me show. Let me. I'm not done yet.
He's not done yet, everybody.
This I traded for this. She hand embroidered that. Her name beautiful. Kristen. She lived in Massachusetts. This name one Betty. She made us. Her name Betty. She was staying at a campground, and she wanted to stay late the one night. And I was like, I can drive you, so you don't have to walk in the dark for 20 minutes. And she's like, all right. And we also traded a piece, so it wasn't just a car ride. And then what else? Oh, I traded this. This and the graphics.
That's cute.
They made stamps. Is that the? I don't know what that is. They spray painted it. One of them's coming apart. I'm gonna email her and say I want my pen back. And that's how somebody spits on your face. Oh, I made this, but it didn't work out. So let me tell you about what a pain in the ASS this is. So it's a hollow form soldered ring, and you have to like cut this out in like an H band, they call it, and then you form this up and solder these seams and then form it into like a dome, and then you make a bezel and you solder the bezel in, and then you make the inner one and you solder that in. So apparently my temperature control is not super. What did Kimberly say?
Andrew, do you plan to list any of your completed makes?
I didn't complete anything. Maybe these ones. These ones are the most done. These ones. And this I guess it's done. This looks like not that great. So I
could offer these tonight if you want. You know, pricing on them?
They'll be kind of
yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
For you all special before we
put them in a box.
Put them in a box.
Oh, I also made this.
Oh. Scarab.
I can't get off the stick though.
You can't get it off the stick?
And then I did this one. It doesn't look like anything. It's an eye though.
It looks like an eye.
Oh yeah, it's getting fuzzy too. And then what else did I do? I did another stick.
Face.
A raisin.
A raisin.
And then I also made this. I also made this. And in theory, I was going to make it so that I can grip the stones. So it'd be like this.
Boy.
What did Kimberly say? I can't
I
see.
see perfect pendants, haha.
Oh, yeah? Well, thanks. Oh, and did I show these? Those ones were supposed to be more of that. Oh, and I did. I made this tiny one.
Oh my goodness.
Look.
Itty bitty.
And I was going to make one of these ones. And there's actually a chamber back there. And, you know, I was going to have it so it shook around. And I didn't do it, though. Not yet.
Not yet.
And then what else did I do? I think that's it. Oh, and then I bought this, and I'll finish this when I'm at home. This is from the teacher. This is their cast string. So they don't have to go and hand forge every single ring. I say, huh. Oh, and then I did something else. Oh, well, whatever. So this, and then this, and then this. All right. I'll leave these off over here to the side. Oh. Whatever. That's fine. How was that for intermission?
Okay. Since people want to maybe buy some of these, let's move these. Because these aren't for sale.
Yeah. Don't drop them. Ah!
Don't make that noise, because then you know me, I will.
I know. Butterfingers.
I know.
That one I need to make a class. Did you think, are you proud of me? Did I do a good job?
He's going to ask all of you.
Uh-huh.
Are you proud of Andrew, everybody?
My dad was never proud of me.
Oh, boy.
Love them all, and I love the what bird ring.
Love them all, and I am in love with the bird ring.
That one needs to get finished. Plus, also, I need to figure out a sizing, because otherwise... Alright.
Okay.
In theory, I should take those ones, too, because I need to polish them. Oh, one more is missing.
Whoop. Anna says, she says, yep, that one. 1,000% proud of you, Andrew.
Thanks.
Says, I think you did great work.
Thanks. I tried hard.
Okay. Now you're going to have to sit here and price these with me. Don't go too far. Okay. We sold MMW10, by the way, in the middle of all that. Thank you so much.
Good job.
So let's move this out of the way.
WMM, is that for your...
MMW. Don't confuse people. Name? No, it's Merry Monday with William.
Marry me.
Merry Monday.
Merry Monday. M-E-R-R-Y?
Yes.
You know what that means? Drunk.
What?
That's why some people don't say Merry Christmas.
That's not why.
It means happy drunk.
Happy drunk.
I'm not making it up.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. MMW.
I'm like, well, I didn't name the show.
No one helped me name the show.
Oh, well, go cry about it.
So how much is this one going to be? Okay.
You think?
Sure. Okay. MMW11 is the boat, and it is $125.
And it's sterling silver, fine silver. I'm going to polish the back up a little bit. And it's hand-carved ocean jasper. I even send you the picture of the boat. I'll show it to you. That one I could never reproduce ever again. What?
MMW11, $125.
Let me see what I sent. Oh, I got scared for a second.
I'm going to put this away. Let me put these other ones away so we make room for Andrew's stuff on the mat.
So you can showcase me.
That's right.
Um,
Didn't even know we were going to do this tonight.
no. Extra Mary.
Extra Mary Monday. Let me put this
See?
away.
That's the boat.
Looks just like it.
That's the flag deck. See it? Well, I tried to make it look good. Boy, that place is real pretty. I was like, oh, maybe I gotta move here. And then I looked up how much the houses cost. And I was like, maybe I won't move here.
You wouldn't like the winters there, I'm sure.
No, but where will I like it?
Where will you like the winter?
Well, I will tell you this, that it was not cold in North Carolina.
No.
It was like a wall of heat. I was like,
Okay. Here's that one. MMW12. How much for this one?
That one, maybe, yeah.
Okay. I'm letting you set it.
I
This
don't
is
know.
your work.
Well,
MMW12, 110. This is the glass, you said, right? With the vintage glass with the backing still left on some parts.
That's a gold part.
The gold part down there. And then intaglio carved by Andrew.
Intaglio.
With Andrew's watercolor in the background.
I sealed it, but you should also not go swimming in the ocean with it.
Don't do that.
You know, this is not for that kind of adventure.
How much on that one?
This one, the stone was more expensive. The same as the first one, you think?
Okay.
Is that appropriate feedback?
This is MMW13.
Boy, I worked hard on these.
$125. This is the watercolor in the background.
And there's special watercolors made in Maine.
Oh, nice.
By a woman scientist.
From the place.
From a lady scientist.
Rutilated quartz.
That sounds terrible.
Hand carved.
But I do like it. It makes it sound like it's Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Even though it's not.
Sterling and fine silver.
I don't know what kind of scientist she is. I think she's an astronomer.
I love this one.
I just made that up. Don't take what is that? I think you did great. That's an old comment.
Yeah.
No more praise.
How about that one?
How much you think?
I don't know. Wait. I think that's good.
For higher, lower?
I was thinking.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to. I'm gonna do what you said. MMW14, $80 on this one.
Oh, I need to check the fire.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty low when I left, but I kept it going.
And that's the watercolor with the intaglio carved rutilated quartz.
Sterling silver.
And sterling silver. And then this one.
You think the same?
I think a little bit more, maybe
Okay.
like that. And then this is $15.95 is this one.
I used to make these with sapphires and they sell out.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't your hand-carved sapphires.
Mm-mm.
And then this one. I know you
Mm,
said that setting was difficult.
how about
What? That's it? Wait. No, you're going too fast. What'd you say? That's low.
because it's not silver.
Yeah, but still, this is 95.
I didn't sign that one. I guess I could look for that thing and scratch it in.
Scratch it in. So there they are. If you'd like to purchase any of those, you can send us the lot numbers.
I know
Those are the ones that are ready for sale right now.
Yeah, I don't know what is gonna be ready. Oh, I guess I could sell this one.
We just sold 13.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
What?
This is my favorite one too. I love how the rutiles go over it and under, like they look like they're just going all around it. So there's that one. That's sold. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. In theory, I could sell this one, but I need to find a solution for to coat it. I have to spray it or something.
You better just wait then.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
You don't want this?
Anybody interested in that one? Here, let's just give it that way. I'll have it for when it, then I'll put it on the website whenever it is ready if nobody wants it tonight. But maybe somebody does.
This is kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, how much?
This is the most expensive one. It's a sponge coral.
MMW17, $135 is the rabbit jumping around
The moon.
The moon.
The rabbit and the moon. I don't think that's. Is that a thing? The rabbit and the moon?
Hand carved sponge coral.
Mm-hmm. Vintage.
Vintage.
Yeah, I didn't cut up any sponge coral for that.
Look at how pretty the details are when you get in there.
You can't see it unless you touch it. But I'm gonna put a spray on the rabbit so that that white doesn't come off.
So there's that. If you're interested in that, MMW17.
All right, that's what I made.
That's what he made, everybody.
I made for 3 weeks. I didn't work as hard as I could have.
Kimberly says, no, it's the cow that goes over the moon, but I like your take on it.
Isn't that rabbit in the moon? Isn't that a thing? Asia. You like how I announced
Asia.
The
origins.
or continent of origin.
Okay.
In theory, this one will be available.
In theory.
I'm just gonna do a quick buff on it.
A quick buff. You want to put a price on that one then? MW18. And that has a ruby, synthetic ruby?
Lab grown.
Lab grown ruby.
Cast in place.
Cast in place. $40.
So it survived the fire.
He will polish it up a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
This is MMW18, $40.
I like things to be a little bit rusted. I don't like it to be too shiny.
I like it like it is right now, actually.
Yeah, I do too. And you think I should sell this?
I think you should sell whatever you want to sell.
This one?
I think so.
This?
The Root Baby. How much is the Root Baby? You think?
Because it's a one of a kind. It's not a mold.
No. You're not going to make that again.
No.
It's going to be MMW 19, $72. Bronze cast, one of a kind. Root Baby.
I may polish this one up a little bit more.
Yeah, you're going to clean it up a little bit more.
It's a little butt. Clean its butt cheeks.
But that will be MMW 19, $72 if anybody wants that one.
Those are all hand done.
He carved the wax all by hand for those.
Correct. It was like a gajillion degrees. So the wax was super melty.
Oh, we just sold 18. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
He's very excited. People like his stuff.
Yeah, it is not just total garbage. I'm not a failure now.
You're not a failure now.
Mm-hmm. This makes me happy in my heart.
Yes, I like it. I like it. I like what it means for the future of Allegory too.
Allegory Gallery.
The new things that we're going to be able to do and create and make lines of things of.
Oh, I thought somebody got some as just TikTok.
I know. It does that to me every night. And I'm like, oh.
Lies. So I'm teaching a class on Saturday. Surprise.
What class is this?
Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, that's Saturday?
Yeah.
Woo. Already coming up on us.
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle on enamel.
That's what people are like, what does that mean? And I was like, make a shiny.
And you've got a nice full class.
6.
6 people in the class.
So room for 2 more, but tell me before so I can make sure to pack for it. And then I have Peters Valley. They're running my class even though there's 3 people. 1 dropped out. And they're still going to run it.
Nice.
I was like, are they all work study?
Are they all work study?
Did you just put them in there so you run the class?
Nice.
I don't care how it happens as long as I get paid.
As long as you've got some people to teach, that's all that matters.
And get paid.
And get paid.
Yeah. It's actually better. There's going to be fewer people. You know what it's like? If you have a small class, sometimes you can get quadruple the amount of work done.
And lots of personal instruction.
Yeah, you're not going to leave. If you leave and you say, oh, he didn't really show me anything, then I am a failure.
And you failed as a teacher.
Correct. You're going to be so tired of me, you're going to say, I can't stand the sound of his voice. Get out here. But also, what is the answer to this question? And I said, the answer is blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. MMW 20 are these vintage malachite chips.
Malachite.
Got 2 strands of them here available.
I'm not carving this, so just so y'all know, because it's not healthy to carve this.
Oh.
You know what else is not healthy to carve? Bumblebee Jasper.
Yeah.
It's got arsenic in it.
So these are 2 strands.
This one's not terrible, but it does have copper, and you're not supposed to breathe in the copper.
And these are about 14-inch strands, $16 each. Malachite. You know what? Let's do $14. I think that's more fair. They're not full 16-inch strands. Vintage, 2 of them available. They're both shown here. MMW 20, beautiful malachite chips, and somewhere around 7.5 millimeters. They do vary quite a bit.
So did people like the enamel with the photo on it?
Yeah, all but, well, this one fell out in my bag, so I realized I never put it up for sale.
Or
I
did
showed it on the live before. But all but one sold, and it's the bunny woman. The bunny.
that
The,
one didn't sell?
nope, that's the only one that didn't sell out of the whole group of them.
Wow, they must have liked it.
Yeah, and I told them I had more to do, but I failed at getting them done.
Well, I appreciate you acknowledging your room for growth.
Let's
What
see.
do we have for dinner?
That's what I was telling them. We have like spaghetti.
No, we don't have spaghetti.
We could have spaghetti.
Oh, you have sauce and noodles?
Yeah, I believe.
I'm not gonna. I could probably make something from this.
These are bone, right?
Yep, I have a new appreciation for it.
Yeah, these are going to be $3 each.
No, I know if I carved it, it's not gonna
It's
be
not going to be
$3.
$3 each. $73 each.
Uh-huh.
Hand carved bone, and the holes.
But once you get it
That
down, you just go in production mode.
So these are hand carved bone. I've got 9 of these, and I'm going to do them for $3 each. Ooh, excuse me. Thank you.
Get ready for Halloween.
Right? That's what I said. I'm trying to put the Halloween stuff out now so that we can get it to people.
And they have time to make stuff.
Have time to make stuff. 22. Trying to think ahead. Think ahead for fall, y'all.
And I have a bird here. We should have started at the beginning of, from the end of July.
We sold the one strand of the vintage glass pearls. So here's another strand, MMW22. You can probably tell I'm trying to speed up a little for y'all since we took up a lot of time me talking at the beginning and then Andrew's show and tell.
Well,
I don't want to keep everybody out way past their bedtimes on a Monday.
oh well, it's worth it.
It's worth it. So these are 8 millimeters vintage glass pearls. One strand available. And I also like these things. We showed these once in Tennessee, but not everyone. We didn't have many people watching. Not that we do tonight, but maybe some more people watching than we're watching there. These are little copper pieces that Andrew did. I'm losing my voice. These are pressed out of copper. There, let me fit this the right way. And these are kind of blanks for you to do with as you want, whether you turn them into pendants, whether you set them in some way. But doing these are $10 each. These are pressed copper. And these ones, this woman, who is this again? These are 33 millimeters approximately.
That means water.
Water.
COEAU.
Oh, I do see it down there.
And it's by Armand something.
So those are available $10 each, 3 of them available. Thought I'd rerun some of these in case you missed them when we did them before. MMW24. This one I liked a lot. $8 for this one. Who's still out there with us? Who's still joining us after all of this lengthy live today? Look at this one. Pressed copper. Again, you can finish it however you'd like. You could seed bead around it. You can make a bezel. You can put a hole in it and make it into a pendant. That's $8 pressed copper. We just sold the 22. That's the pearls. Thank you so much. Let me put those away. Norma's still here. Thank you for being here, Norma. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us. I'm going to also put away the malachite to make room. This is MMW20, the malachite chips. Change that to $14 a strand. Vintage malachite chips, 2 of them available. Diane's still here. Thank you for being here, Diane. We just sold 24. That's the Raven. Thank you, thank you. Put that back in there. All right, let's move these over. Move these over. MMW20, what am I on, 25? Is this one? A woman with the sun. She got the long hair. That is 8. Getting pressed copper. Oh, I'm gonna need. Can you get the scissors over on my desk, please? I don't think I have scissors here. I need to.
Cut.
I need to cut papers.
So the razor blade's not going to do it?
No, that razor blade not going to do it.
The dull exacto knife?
MMW26. Ooh, I really like this one. This is this kind of sun blowing its rays out at you. And that one is also going to be 8. MMW26. And let me just cut a few more pieces of paper. We're very high tech with our numbering systems here, right?
Yep.
Sometimes low tech works the best.
If that works, it works, right?
Yeah. I do have a lot of pieces of paper around, but at least everything is easily trackable. All right. I wanted to see, I found some markers over here. I wanted to see if any of these work. What am I doing? Wow, let's try that again. MMW27. This one is 10.
I'm gonna bring them some Christmas trees.
Bringing in some Christmas trees.
Turn the razzle dazzle.
Mmm. Getting wild for Christmas.
They said they wanted to make a sparkly Christmas tree. I said, all right.
Oh, nice. I like that idea. I love the Christmas trees. This is MMW 27. It's this woman with the fruit tree. Got the fruit up there.
Tara.
No, it's Tara. I knew one of them. Where? Oh, right there. Tara. Wow. MMW 28. Okay. How about this? This we had at 35. And I've tried to sell it a few times. So I'm going to bring it down. Well, let's match the lot number. 28. Let's just see what this is doing. MMW 28. This is cubic zirconia. Cubic zirconia, lavender amethyst colored faceted drops. These are super bright, super pretty, 4-inch strand.
So if you're curious, that's who made it. That's the
Who made the original?
Yep. How much are they charging? We'll find out.
Sorry, it's sold out. You won't find out.
Well, they're like the mystery persists.
Well, we aren't sold out. Ours are $10 each. Look how pretty these are. Gesundheit.
This on for $17.
Huh? 17.
Well, 1680.
1680. These are 13 millimeter. Probably by 13. Yep, by 13. Gesundheit.
Thanks.
Beautiful drops. Cubic zirconia. MMW 28.
Item must be changing.
Uh-oh. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, says Kimberly.
Thank you.
MMW 29. Let's see here. Let me get these.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. I'm gonna go and check the fire real quick.
Okay. These are 2 strands of pearls. They're $18 each. These are vintage freshwater pearls. And they're these little nuggety goodnesses. Now this has, there's a little bit of, this comes right off. This was old, I think it's an old piece of rubber band that was wrapped around these, but it does come right off. There's a little bit of red on there. We'll take it off before we send it out. But these are vintage freshwater pearls. Now these ones, I have these, and the next lot is going to be some that are a little bit bigger than these. By little, I mean quite a bit bigger than these. So these are the smaller ones. And some of these are really kind of round. Like these strands are they're sort of different. They're pretty different. Kind of, maybe, sort of. There's just a few of them on here on this one that are like this. And the rest of them are kind of just random nuggety goodness. strands. I love the randomness of them. They're about 11 by 18. And then the next ones, I'm going to do them for the same price because there's fewer on there. But they were 20. I'm going to do them for 18. And there are 2 of the larger ones as well. Let me put these away. Okay, let's move these around. And MMW 30 are these larger vintage freshwater pearls. Are these beautiful? Again, this is old rubber band. Sometimes they used to wrap them in rubber band and get stuck to them. So that'll come right off. But these stick pearls, they really have nice color. Like that's, look at the colors in them. And so these ones are approximately 14, that's not right, 9.5 by about 27, 28. And let's see here. These are approximately 14-inch strands. 14-inch strands, vintage freshwater pearls. All right, now let me make some room here. Let me make some room. We sold one of each of the pearl strands so far, 29 and 30. We still have one of each available. Thank you, thank you. Those are, I think, really good prices for those stick pearls. I'm trying to give you good deals tonight since we're keeping you up late, right? Extra late? I don't know. I don't know if it's really extra. We'll do 10 more quick lots and then we'll be going. Are y'all up for 10 more lots? Literally awake for 10 more lots? Hopefully. Put these away. Somebody's acting quick on those pearls. Thank you. It's a good deal. How's the fire?
Burned down to some birds.
Need to go douse it.
No way. Weather must be changing though.
And he says, so I am up. Good.
Do what?
Oh, says, of course it's time for me to work the data, so I am up.
Oh, Kimberly?
Yep. Well, thank you for being up. You know what? I don't know why. Yeah, I'm just gonna put these. I'll leave these ones out. I shouldn't have put those other ones away, but that's all right. It's okay. One's still available for 29 if anyone's interested. MMW 31.
How long are you gonna go for?
I'm going to 40.
All right.
These used to be $1.50 each. 3, 6, 7.50. Let's do them for $5.
The carved.
Carved, I know. Hand carved.
I know I can do it.
5 of them, $1 each.
Rhodonite.
Rhodonite. Andrew's not carving that for you for $1 each.
No way. Vintage. These are also vintage, so I can't get in the time traveler outfit.
So these are not that. 6.5, about 6.5 millimeters. MMW 31. 5 of them available. 31, $5.
It's a steal.
Oh, we sold the other 29. So 29, both of the smaller strands of the pearls are sold. Thank you. We still have one of the larger ones.
I don't know what goes well with those pearls. These ones.
I just did those the other day. I just did those.
They look similar though.
They do look similar. This was 14. I'm going to drop it down to 10 for y'all.
So what have y'all been up to? Y'all do anything in the last 3 weeks?
Oh, we just sold 31. Thank you so much.
What y'all been up to?
Andrew says, talk to me. He misses you all.
I know. I've gone through a little bit of withdrawal.
This is beautiful quartz nuggets, chips, nuggety chips, we'll call them. Quartz nuggety chips. $10 only. This is a vintage 16-inch strand. I'm crazy. 14 was a good price before for y'all. Dropping it down to 10 since it's still here. Not -1 millimeters. About 10.5 millimeters in the size. 1 strand available. MMW 32. MMW 33. This is a little sombrero. Isn't that super cute? Little Peruvian ceramic sombrero. That'll be $1.50. One of those available. MMW 33. Kimberly says, well, I had a rough compliance last month. Turned 4. Watched my sons do their thing at the county fair. Worked on some YouTube stuff.
Oh, nice. How's that going?
We were talking about our YouTube channel a bit earlier.
Yeah.
She's getting used to the camera.
Oh, good.
Used to being on camera.
That's super helpful.
MMW 34. I am going quick through stuff. So if you need measurements or more things, let me know if you're interested. Let's see what I got here. Let's do this, and let's do a special price on it. We had 90 on it, and let's do it at 70. Uh, 32 has just sold. Thank you so much.
You.
That's the quartz. Let me put this away. 31 is sold. We still have one of 30, but the other pearls have sold out. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all. That was, oh, I turned 40 something, not 4. I was like, what was the 4 in there? I wasn't sure.
Oh, happy birthday.
Turned 40 something. It's nice to be 40 something, right? And so this was 90, taking it down to 70 for you all. This is a beautifully big strand of labradorite. It's not crazy flashy labradorite. It's more like the stones without a lot of the flash, which, you know, some people may not, they're like, that's the point of labradorite. But it is a pretty stone anyway. And this is a really big, there's some flash on that one. There's probably more flash out in the daylight than you're seeing here. These are really big nuggets of a really pretty labradorite stone. You get the whole strand for $70. It is really pretty. And that's MMW 34. MMW 11 just sold. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Andrew's boat.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who got that?
I can't say on camera.
Mm.
The boat pendant has sold, the carved boat. MMW 35. Somebody who's been thinking about that boat, it looks like, for a while. Just couldn't let it go, huh? That's good. Thank you. We have some green aventurine. Microfaceted rounds. I've got 4 strands of these. We're going to do them at our normal, was 15, now 12 for you all. Oh, Norma says, you can tell them. It was Norma.
Oh, thanks. Didn't mean to out you.
Okay. Let's see here. Whoa. Where'd you go? And why'd you go? Okay. So this is green aventurine. Microfaceted. Look how pretty that is. It's like that almost minty like green. MMW 35. $12 a strand, microfaceted rounds. And let's make sure this is zeroed out. These are 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter microfaceted rounds in green aventurine. 4 strands available, $12 a strand. Let me put these pearls away. And nobody wants the sombrero or cowboy hat.
Just give it away.
33. What?
I have happiness in my heart. Somebody, what is your favorite taco?
What is your favorite taco?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anybody, if you want to win this, Andrew's doing a giveaway. Giveaway question, first person to answer in the comments. What is your favorite taco? I guess that means what do you like on your taco? Like a hard taco, soft taco? What do you like? First person, if you want this, will put your name on it and send it out with your order. You do have to have an order with us. Kimberly says shrimp. Okay,
All right.
Kimberly, it's yours.
Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
Shrimp. We haven't done a lot of giveaways since Andrew's been away.
Well, there you go.
Here you go. Okay, we'll move this over. Move these over. MMW36. Let's do a Harry pendant. That one. $16. Harry Woods ceramic pendant. Woohoo, I got a hat for my birthday, says Kimberly. Look at that beautiful ceramic pendant by Harry. That's $16. MMW 36. And let's see.
You know what? I pick up trash off the street.
51. What? By 54? 51 by 54 millimeters?
I just thought y'all should know.
He does do that. Sometimes out of dumpsters.
You know what? I was thinking about that because there's all kinds of like giblets in the car door handle. And somebody was riding with me, and they're like,
I know, because you pick up lots of
they're
stuff.
like, is that a railroad tie? And I was like, yeah. Or a railroad tie? I said, yeah. And then they're like, oh, this rock is cool too. At least they could appreciate it.
That's why I picked it up.
I don't know, but isn't it the coolest?
MMW 37 is this pendant by Harry, which is ceramic with an angel with the cross. Large ceramic pendant. And this one is approximately 49 by 60. And it's actually really, really light, y'all. Don't think these are heavy because they're large. These are very, like, this is barely there. So it's not going to give you the back problems to wear a necklace with those. What did I do with? Did I skip 32? Did I skip 33? Oh well, I'm going to keep going. MMW 38. I'll have to see if I skipped 33. Oh, I know why. The hat was 33. That makes sense. Okay. 8. What I got in here you might all want. Oh, this is nice. I like this one. This is $10. Thank you, Kimberly. Says, yeah, no, it was my hat. That makes sense. Already forgot about it. That's something. This is another one of Andrew's pressed. It's got the sickle with the honey, with the bee hive, with the flowers. And that's MMW 38, $10. It's really, I told you it was going to be a random night tonight.
And it is.
It's really random tonight, isn't it, everybody? Let's do this one. These are usually popular from Harry. This is a really nice one, too. It really says, that's neat. I really like that pressing. It's one of my favorites that he's got. And this is MMW 39. This is the hieroglyphics pendant, one of them that Harry makes. And this one is done in Raku, and it's got a beautiful color to that Raku. I don't know. It's not flashing as much. It's really metallic-like on the glaze and really has a lot of really pretty colors. Hopefully you can see that. It is about 35.5 millimeters. And the last one for tonight is, let's see, what do I want to do? Let's do a good deal. How many of these I got? I've got 4 of these. Let's do these for $4 each. MMW 40, $4 each. I've got, let me take, I don't want to take it out of the bag. These are Tiger Eye pendants, and they're really nice. They're vintage Tiger Eye pendants. They've actually already got some wax cord attached, but you can take that off. We're pretty much selling them as the pendant. $4 each, 4 of these available. I'll show you another one. There's another one. They're pretty nice. Oh, there, this one is coming out of the package. Here's, like, out of the package. So there they are, MMW 40. And that, my friends, our friends, I'm used to saying my friends, Andrew's here back now. Our friends is the show tonight. So thank you all for hanging out. Those of you, those 7 of you who made it to the end, thank you so much.
Good job.
Good job. Good job. And we really appreciate it. I'm going to do up the spreadsheet and probably invoice from home once we get home. So the invoices will come out a little later tonight. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you all. If you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email, and I'll try and get you an answer as quickly as I can. All right. Have a great evening, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow with something else. Bye, everybody.